Burbank, the media capital of the world.
To participate in the general public comment period, please call now at 818-238-3335. For any scheduled public hearings, please call when prompted to speak if you want the comment to be part of the record. Speaking times will be determined by the total number of public comment cards and callers in the queue at the start of each public comment period. For 1 to 20 total speakers, each speaker will receive up to 3 minutes. For 21 to 39 total speakers, each speaker will receive up to 2 minutes. And for 40 plus total speakers, each speaker will receive up to 1 minute. No additional comment cards or calls will be accepted once the public comment period begins.
Interpreters are available for assistance with in-person public comment. Please connect with them if you are in need of services. Hay servicios de interpretación disponibles para asistir con los comentarios públicos en persona. Por favor, habla con un intérprete si necesita estos servicios.
Եթե տեղում մեկնաբանություն եք անում թարգմանիչի կարիք ունեք, միացեք թարգմանչի հետ օգնության համար։
Good evening and welcome to a regular meeting of the Burbank City Council on Tuesday, July 21st, 2026. Please join me for a moment of reflection. This moment is intended to begin our meeting with a positive and collective support for our beloved community. The City Council welcomes everyone joining us this evening. We encourage you to take a moment to reflect on our community and the work we will be doing together tonight. Although each of us has our own unique reasons for being here, we are united in our passion for our wonderful city. As we pause, let us consider our individual contributions and what they mean to those around us. Let us find solace in knowing that by working together with a shared spirit of community and partnership, we will always act responsibly for the betterment of Burbank. Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Madam City Clerk, before we do the roll call, oh, wait, hold on. We'd like to wish you a very happy birthday.
Thank you very much. And I couldn't have gotten here without Patrick Prescott, our Community Development Director, also having a birthday
Yes,
today.
I was going to embarrass Patrick.
Happy birthday. So thank you both for choosing to spend your birthday with us tonight and not playing hooky.
They'll get Saturday off. So you
Okay, you can have Saturday off and
Yeah.
Sunday too.
Yes.
Extra bonus.
So kind.
I know, we're a very nice council. All right, happy birthday to both of you, but now that we have done that, I think it's time to get back to business and conduct the roll call.
Councilmember Anthony?
Happy birthday to you both.
Thank you. Councilmember Perez?
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Councilmember Rosati?
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Mullins.
Happy.
Thank you. Mayor Takahashi.
Well, I got to round it out. Happy birthday.
Thanks, you guys.
All right, there will be 4 periods of public comment tonight. Members of the public may comment in person or by phone during the general public comment period and must submit cards or call before the general public comment period begins. The first public comment period is for general public comment on any matter concerning city business and/or any agenda item. If you are here in person and wish to speak during general public comment, please submit a yellow public comment card to address the council at the city clerk's desk over here. If you'd like to participate in the general public comment over the phone, please call now at 818-238-3335. Callers will be placed in a queue until the general public comment period begins, at which time no additional calls will be taken. An additional public comment period will be available following each report to council this evening. Spanish and Armenian interpreters are available for assistance with public comment and can be found sitting in the front row. Please connect with them if you are in need of services. Feel free to walk right up and ask for assistance. Tonight, we have 5 announcements.
There are many ways to spend a Tuesday night. There are many channels you could flip to right now. But after 3 weeks away from the chambers, there's really something wonderful about choosing to be here, tuning into the Burbank channel on this July summer night for yet another council meeting. Let's see what's coming up. From the City Clerk's office, we have 2 application reminders you don't want to miss. Applications are being accepted for 1 vacancy on the Community Development Block Grant Committee for an unexpired term ending July 31st, 2028. The deadline to submit an application for the Community Development Block Grant Committee is Friday, August 7th at 5 p.m. Applications are also being accepted for 1 vacancy on the Board of Building and Fire Code Appeals for an unexpired term ending July 31st, 2028. The deadline to submit an application is a little sooner, being this week on Friday, July 24th at 5 p.m. If interested in either the Community Development Block Grant Committee or the Board of Building and Fire Code Appeals, please apply online at burbankca.gov/BCC application. As a reminder, any person appointed to fill a vacancy shall hold office for the remainder of the unexpired term. Persons appointed to serve unexpired terms must complete the term before applying to serve on another board, commission, or committee. For more information, please contact the Burbank City Clerk's office at telephone number 818-238-5851 or email cityclerks@burbankca.gov. Another exciting update is that the City of Burbank is currently preparing the Burbank Rancho Neighborhood Specific Plan, and we want to hear from you. The final pop-up event in the summer series is this Thursday, July 23rd, from 4:30 to 6 p.m. at Calvary Bible Church. Don't worry if you miss the other pop-up dates, because each pop-up shares the same information and offers the same activities. And we still want to hear your feedback after sharing community design options. For more information, go to burbankrnsp.com. And since we're all here, we'd like to notify you that in accordance with Senate Bill 707, public comment via Zoom will be available during all City Council public comment periods beginning at next week's meeting on July 28th. You can share your comments in person, on Zoom, or using the e-comment feature online. There will be no video aspect to Zoom calls, meaning call and comment will function much like the current telephone system. Participants can join via Zoom link or call into the Zoom meeting to connect effectively. And finally, in case you haven't heard yet, the November 3rd, 2026 City of Burbank General Municipal Election Nomination Period opened at 8 a.m. on Monday, July 13th, and will close on Friday, August 7th at 5 p.m. The nomination period will see candidates to fill 3 offices for member of the City Council, 1 office of the City Clerk, and 1 office of the City Treasurer, all for full 4-year terms ending on December 16th, 2030. The requirements for candidates for elective offices of the city are as follows. You need to be a United States citizen, at least 18 years of age, a resident of the City of Burbank for at least 29 days prior to filing nomination papers, and a registered voter in the City of Burbank at the time of nomination. Qualifying individuals may contact the Burbank City Clerk's office at telephone number 818-238-5851 during normal office hours Monday through Friday between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Please note, if an incumbent does not file by the deadline, the nomination period will be extended until Wednesday, August 12th, 2026 at 5 p.m. for candidates other than an incumbent for that seat only. Thank you for being here with us in the Burbank City Hall. The night is still young. The stars won't be out for another 2 hours, so make sure to stay tuned.
All right, tonight we have 2 presentations. Our first presentation this evening is a presentation of a certificate of recognition to the Burbank Adult School Retail Pharmacy Training Program. I'd like to invite Juan Noguera and Vice Principal Anna Yeguillans to the podium to accept the certificates. I'm so excited to have been able to arrange for you guys to be here. I don't know, it was about 6 months ago when you had your ribbon cutting, so I was fortunate enough to be able to attend the pharmacy retail program's ribbon cutting. And I was so impressed by the program and also recognize how this is an area where the school district and the city have a crossover interest in workforce development. And so I wanted to invite you here to thank you, because I know there's a lot of hard work who went into this, and I'll let you describe a little bit of the program. And I wanted to make sure that we recognized you for all your hard work. So would you like to describe the program a little bit to the folks in the audience and who you are?
Sure. My name is Juan Noguera. I am here with Manuela Mesa. The assistant principal couldn't make it. Manuela Mesa is our instructor and externship coordinator. Thank you for this opportunity, Mayor. The Burbank Adult School is not an adult school anymore. It's a career and training center. We offer opportunities for people to start new careers, real careers. And the Pharmacy Tech program is a class that is offered in the morning, a.m., Monday through Thursday, and also in the evening, Monday through Thursday. We offer externships free, tuition free. Do you hear that? Tuition free. Only materials fee for $200, somebody can complete the program and get certification. This is a great opportunity that we are offering. Our adult school is not an adult school anymore. It's a career and training center that offers opportunity for everybody. So let me tell you, moving forward, the vocational nursing program is coming, starting in January, and it's going to be a low cost and high quality instruction. But, thank you. But we need help from the community. We are looking for clinical facilities. So we have 3 right now, we need to have 4. So if anybody out there in the community knows about a clinical site that we can utilize to make this happen in our own community, please help us out. Mayor, thank you for this opportunity on behalf of Burbank Unified School District, Burbank Adult School, our faculty, staff, and of course our students. Thank you very much for this great opportunity.
So I could let him go on and brag on the program for a while because there's a lot to say, but one thing I would really like to highlight is that you have an actual prototype of a pharmacy on campus. It's an actual, when you walk in, it looks like you're in a pharmacy, so the students can have actual hands-on experience in a real life setting before they get hired, which increases tremendously their hireability. So great job on that. A lot went into finding the place to put it and the funding and all that, so really great job. All right.
$28,000 to set up the whole thing.
Yeah, and it's great. So can people come for a tour?
Oh, yes.
Oh, please go. It's amazing. All right, so before I read this, I'd like to actually have a couple school board members here tonight, so I'd like you to come on up as well. Yay. The school board is required to make sure that this happens, so thank you all. All right, and it says Burbank Adult School, but you're going to officially change your name when to the new?
We're working on changing the name to Career and Training Center this year, so it's going to happen soon. So find us on Facebook, Instagram, our own YouTube channel, and of course, our website.
Wonderful. Great. All right. So, certificate of recognition presented to the Burbank Adult School in recognition of the ongoing success of your retail pharmacy training program. This curriculum helps adults in our community expand their career options and confidently prepare to enter a field that is vitally important. On behalf of the Burbank City Council, I congratulate you on the success of this program and thank you for all that you do. Thank you so much.
Every July, communities.
Yes, this is mine. Thank you. This is mine.
Our second presentation is why this half of the room is wearing blue FIFA shirts. Yes, woo woo indeed. Our second presentation this evening is a presentation of a proclamation declaring July 2026 as National Parks and Recreation Month in the city of Burbank. Woo! How awesome is our Parks and Rec program? Yeah. All right. And Parks and Rec is more than just parks and recreation. We know that. All right, I'd like to welcome our chair, Mickey DiPaolo. There you are, sir, from the Parks and Recreation Board to join me at the podium. And thank you for taking the time to join us this evening. Would you like to share a few words before I present the proclamation?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, great.
Can
We're going to do it that way. You can do it facing that way, or it's up to you.
I might do this right here.
Sure.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members, and community members. Thank you for this meaningful proclamation for recognizing July as Park and Recreation Month. My name is Mickey DiPaolo, and I'm honored to chair the board, Park and Recreation Board. On behalf of the board and the entire Parks and Recreation Department, thank you for your continued support of parks, recreation, and the services that make Burbank such a special place to live. This year's National Recreation and Park Association theme is, quote, the power of parks and recreation. It's a fitting theme because the power of parks extends far beyond playgrounds and sports fields. Park and recreation create healthier communities, bring neighbors together, promote inclusion, protect open spaces, and provide opportunities for residents of every age and ability. Here in Burbank, that impact can be seen every single day. This past year, the department has expanded recreation programs, sports, aquatics, camps, and after-school opportunities, serving thousands of residents. Have launched Southern California's first adaptive hiking program, giving participants access to local trails using all-terrain track chairs. That is just totally amazing. If you haven't observed that, please do so. Also, they've continued offering free adaptive sports, including power chair soccer, wheelchair rugby, fencing, boccia, and Piper's Pals baseball. And also, the city has received the Helen Putnam Award for Excellence for the Burbank Adaptive Sports Expo, nicknamed BASE program. And Burbank was also recognized as one of the only 26 FIFA World Cup community champions for its power chair soccer program. And Burbank, as always, as it does in the past, has continued supporting older adults through recreation, wellness, and nutrition programs. Nobody takes care of our seniors better than Burbank. I'm a senior, I should know that. It's also helped pets find loving homes through the Burbank Animal Shelter. That's another experience I've had. We have had a dog for 6 years, our little Maltese Mimi, and if she's on TV, hi Mimi. We've supported hundreds of community events, facility rentals, recreation classes, volunteer opportunities, public art projects, and film productions. And behind the scenes, staff has maintained more than 33,000 city trees, 500 acres of open space, 125 acres of parkland. They also worked every day to ensure our parks and recreation centers, sports fields, community facilities remain welcoming, safe, and enjoyable for all. These accomplishments represent the true power of parks and recreation, creating opportunities, strengthening neighborhoods, and building community for all. Tonight, we'd like to share a short video highlighting the incredible people, programs, and places that makes Burbank Park and Recreation so special.
Every July, Communities across the nation celebrate Parks and Recreation Month and the incredible impact parks and recreation have on our daily lives. This year's National Recreation and Park Association theme is the power of parks and recreation. In Burbank, that power can be found in every park, every program, every event, and every opportunity that brings people together, strengthens community, and creates a sense of belonging. The power of parks begins with the places that serve our community every day. Across Burbank, residents enjoy a diverse network of parks, recreation facilities, sports fields, pools, and community gathering spaces that support health, wellness, and quality of life. The power of recreation creates opportunities for residents of all ages to learn, grow, and stay active. Throughout the year, thousands of participants joined youth and adult sports leagues, aquatics programs, recreation classes, camps, and after-school programs. Whether learning to swim, competing on the field, exploring a new hobby, or making lifelong friendships at camp, these programs help build confidence, develop skills, and create meaningful experiences. One of the greatest powers of parks and recreation is the power to create belonging. This year, Recreation Services continued expanding adaptive recreation opportunities that ensure residents of all abilities have access to sports, outdoor recreation, wellness programs, and community connection. The department launched Southern California's first adaptive hiking program, helping participants explore local trails and experience nature using all-terrain track chairs. Adaptive athletes also participated in free drop-in programs including power chair soccer, wheelchair rugby, para-fencing, bocce, and Piper's Pals baseball. The annual Burbank Adaptive Sports Expo, known as BASE, welcomed athletes, families, and community partners for a day of sports, wellness, and discovery, providing opportunities for participants of all abilities to try new activities and connect with valuable health and wellness resources. This commitment to inclusion earned statewide and regional recognition. The city received the prestigious Helen Putnam Award for Excellence for BASE, and was recognized as one of only 26 FIFA World Cup community champions for the impact of its power chair soccer program. The power of parks extends beyond recreation. Throughout the year, community events brought residents together to celebrate, connect, and create lasting memories, starting with our Centennial Bash, which launched a year-long celebration of Burbank's centennial. From Spring Eggstravaganza and Earth Day, to Rock a Hula, Fall Festival, the Mayor's tree lighting, and unforgettable evenings with Starlight on Tour, these events strengthened community spirit and welcomed thousands of attendees. Community Services also supported residents through programs that make a difference every day. Older adult programs promoted health, wellness, recreation, and social connection, while Nutrition Services helped provide meals to local seniors. The Burbank Animal Shelter continued its life-saving mission by helping pets find loving homes, and volunteers dedicated countless hours to improving our community through the Burbank Volunteer Program. Behind every program, event, and experience is a dedicated team working to serve the community. Landscape and forestry staff maintained more than 33,000 trees, 500 acres of open space, and 125 acres of parkland, helping preserve the beauty and health of Burbank's parks. Business administration and facility operations supported recreation classes, facility reservations, adult leadership program, capital improvement projects, film productions, contract management, public art installations, and countless services that keep the department moving forward. This Parks and Recreation Month, we proudly join agencies across the nation in celebrating the power of parks and recreation. Thank you to our staff, volunteers, partners, and community members for helping create a stronger, healthier, more connected Burbank. Together, we are creating community for all.
Thank you again for recognizing Parks and Recreation Month. At this time, I'd like to invite Park and Recreation staff, our Park and Recreation board members, commission and committee members to join us for a group photo with the mayor and city council. Thank you again.
So as you guys are heading up here, I will read the proclamation. So proclamation for July being Parks and Recreation Month. Whereas our Parks and Recreation Department strives to be the heart of the community by providing enriching opportunities through dedicated people, beautiful parks, and inspiring programs. And whereas Parks and Recreation fosters social cohesion in communities by celebrating diversity, providing spaces to come together, modeling compassion, promoting social equity, connecting social networks, and ensuring all people have access to its benefit. Whereas Parks and Recreation expands access and inclusion throughout adaptive sports and recreation programs. And whereas July is designated as Parks and Recreation Month by the U.S. House of Representatives and celebrated across the nation. Now, therefore, I, Tamala Takahashi, Mayor of the City of Burbank, do hereby proclaim July 2026 as Parks and Recreation Month in the City of Burbank. We celebrate our Parks and Recreation Department, which supports, engages, and enriches our community million times over. Thank you.
Good job, Derek.
We're going to give them a couple minutes to pile out here, but they are amazing. If anyone here has not done a Park and Rec class or not gone to a park or not participated in Parks and Rec in any way, shape, or form, talk to me afterwards. We're going to have a conversation, and we're going to have a list of awesome things that are available at Parks and Rec. Awesome. All right, Mr. City Manager, do we have a report tonight?
Madam Mayor, yes, we do. I actually have two items. The first item, I'm going to have Mary Hamzoyan from Community Development come up and talk about the FIFA Fan Fest that occurred in Burbank this weekend.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the City Council, and members of the community. My name is Mary Hamzoyan with the Community Development Department. Slides, please. I'm here tonight to provide a few highlights from the official FIFA Fan Zone event, which took place this past weekend, July 18th and 19th in downtown Burbank. Staff will conduct a full debrief and analysis once all information has been collected, but I just wanted to share some of the early successes from this exciting weekend. Hosting an official FIFA Fan Zone provided Burbank with a unique opportunity, once-in-a-generation opportunity to showcase our city to a global audience. The event reinforced Burbank's reputation as a vibrant, accessible, and event-ready community within the greater Los Angeles region, while creating momentum towards future international events like the LA 28 Olympics and Paralympic Games. Beyond the global exposure, one of our primary goals was to generate meaningful economic activity for our local business community by attracting visitors from across the region and beyond to dine, shop, and stay in our hotels and experience everything downtown Burbank has to offer. The Fan Zone also helped establish a lasting legacy for further positioning Burbank as a world-class destination alongside other fan zones like the original Farmers Market in Los Angeles, Venice Beach, and Union Station. I'm also happy to report that we sold 12,171 tickets over the weekend. One of the most family-friendly components, of course, was our Parks and Recreation Department's Soccer for All activation zone. This family-friendly area featured 13 interactive booths, 7 inflatable games along San Fernando Boulevard, a mini soccer pitch, virtual reality gaming, arts and crafts inside the former Urban Outfitters space, and a dedicated Parks and Recreation information booth connecting residents with department programs and services. Approximately 2,000 Parks and Rec Fan Zone passports were distributed, with 1,800 commemorative scarves awarded to participants who completed their activation experience. The soccer programming also welcomed 35 adaptive sports athletes and approximately 500 community soccer participants. 7 of our parking structures in downtown were used for paid parking, supporting a total of 2,279 vehicles through a combination of prepaid and same-day parking. As a result, parking operations remained orderly, while with traffic directed efficiently to designated garages. Providing prepaid parking also contributed significantly to smoother ingress for the event's attendees and overall reduced congestion throughout the area. From an operations perspective, the event was carefully planned with public safety as the highest priority. More than 100 private security personnel supported the event, alongside 60 Burbank police officers working each day, including 13 officers assigned specifically to event control. I am pleased to report that the event concluded safely and successfully. There were 0 arrests, 0 disturbances or fights during or after the event, and 0 post-event public safety issues. Our emergency medical teams were also well prepared. On-site emergency medical technicians assisted 165 individuals throughout the weekend, while our fire department's emergency medical service responded to 18 service calls. The event also delivered significant media exposure for Burbank. The Los Angeles World Cup 2026 Fan Zone generated regional, national, and international media coverage, placing downtown Burbank in front of audiences around the world during one of the largest sporting events on the planet. Most importantly, this event demonstrated Burbank's ability to successfully plan and execute an official FIFA-affiliated event that met international standards. That accomplishment strengthens our position as a trusted partner for future regional opportunities, including events associated with LA 28 Olympics and Paralympic Games. Overall, the Los Angeles World Cup 26 Fan Zone successfully showcased Burbank as a vibrant destination for residents and visitors alike, supported our local businesses, engaged thousands of community members through recreation and entertainment, and demonstrated the city's ability to host major international events safely and effectively. Before I conclude, I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to the entire city team for their collaboration, professionalism, and dedication in making this event such a tremendous success, and a special shout out for our economic development team, whose tireless efforts, countless hours of planning, and unwavering commitment were instrumental in making this event a success. We have a brief video to show you. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mary. So before I go to the next item, as city manager on this one, I just wanted to say how very proud I was of city staff and all the departments. Mary, her team, every department really stepped up. This was a big lift to make this successful. So I'm very proud of them. I was there for both days, and it was a lot of work, and it really, it was next level for us. So it was one of the largest events that we've ever put on in the downtown, and we pulled it off with, I think, rousing success. So I just wanted to give it a shout out as a proud city manager. And how do you beat that? How could you beat that? So if hosting the FIFA Fan Fest for the finals of the World Cup wasn't enough, I am pleased to share some exciting news for the city of Burbank. So the Warner Brothers Studio Ranch lot has been officially selected to serve as the International Broadcast Center for the 2028 Summer Olympic and Paralympic Games, following final approval by the International Olympic Committee. So very exciting. What is an International Broadcast Center, or IBC? That will serve as the global headquarters for broadcasters from around the world who will deliver coverage of the Olympics and Paralympic Games to billions of viewers. As the media capital of the world, this is an incredible opportunity to showcase Burbank's exceptional talent that powers our local entertainment and creative industry on the world stage. The project will bring in thousands of broadcast professionals, vendors, support personnel to Burbank, generating economic activity for local businesses while further strengthening our position as a global center for media and entertainment. So this milestone is not only a testament to Burbank's longstanding leadership in media and entertainment, but also to the strength of our city organization to foster an environment in which the Olympic Committee wanted to invest in. As preparations move forward, our city departments will work closely with Warner Brothers, LA28, and regional partners to help ensure the infrastructure, public services, and operational support are in place for a successful international event. Burbank has a long history of delivering exceptional municipal services, and we are excited to be part of this effort with the professionalism and collaboration of that our community is known for. We look forward to working closely with our regional partners and welcoming the global broadcast community to Burbank as we make preparations for the 2028 Games. So congratulations to Warner Brothers and congratulations to our Burbank community for this exciting milestone.
I think that might win an award for the most exciting city manager's report that we've got. Well done. All right, moving on to the next item. Mr. City Attorney, will you please report on closed session?
Yes, Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the City Council, and for the benefit of the public, the City Council convened a closed session of the City Council at 4 p.m. this afternoon to discuss 3 items. The first item was conference with legal counsel concerning existing litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D1 in the case of Los Angeles County Metropolitan Transportation Authority versus City of Burbank. This is the California Environmental Quality Act and breach of contract action. Secondly, City Council met with representatives of Burbank Water and Power concerning threat to public services or facilities pursuant to Government Code Section 54957A. And lastly, City Council met with representatives of the Community Development Department concerning conference with real property negotiators pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.8 concerning negotiations for lease space at 303 North Glen Oaks Boulevard in negotiations with CBRE. The City Council took no reportable action in any of these 3 items.
All right, thank you for the report. Next up, now is time for the general public comment. I will be calling out the speaker's name as well as the person who is next in line to speak. In order to keep public comment moving in a timely fashion, we have a designated seat in the front row for speakers who are next up at the podium. A timer is available on the podium. This is also the last call for anyone who needs an interpreter or that these staff will be released for the evening. Persons may choose to use the first period of public comment to address an agendized report, but will not be able to speak on that item following the general public comment. Please state your name for the record and adjust the microphone if necessary. Have you received any requests tonight? All right, well, you may go home and enjoy your evening, unless you want to stay and enjoy the rest of the meeting. It's up to you. But thank you so much for your service and for being here. Madam City Clerk, how many public comment cards do we have for general public comment? And how many callers do we have in the queue?
Madam Mayor, we have 29 cards and 4 callers.
So that's 30, oh, my math, 33? 33, all right, so 33 speakers means you have 2 minutes each. Okay. Our first speaker is Monica Karam, followed by Christian Calvo. Welcome, you have 2 minutes.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, City Council. My name is Monica Karam, and I am here to request consideration for the upcoming election appointment for the Burbank Arts in Public Places. I've been serving with the committee for this term, and I would love to be re-elected. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Christian Calvo, followed by Ron Bax. Welcome.
Good evening, Council. Christian Calvo, 30-year resident. So I Squared Capital recently bought the local Cogent data center on Flower Street, but they're planning a massive $1 billion expansion to turn it into a high-density AI inference hub. That's a completely different animal than a traditional data center. The AI workloads require immense continuous power surges. Have you guys evaluated the intense expansion that it will impact on our municipal grid? Will the local residents face higher utility rates or brownouts just to feed this private equity project? Also, packing high-density AI servers into this building requires massive upgrades to the cooling systems. The continuous heat dissipation means huge rooftop chillers and fans running 24/7. The low-frequency noise pollution alone will totally destroy the quiet peace in the nearby residential zones. Don't treat this corporate handover as a routine matter. I formally request that a council member direct staff to place a data center infrastructure moratorium and noise variances for this facility on our next official agenda and prepare a transparent AI impact study to the public. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Ooh. Okay. So tonight, when we are excited, we're going to do jazz hands. Thank you very much. Helps us move things along. Really appreciate it. All right, next up is Ron Bax, followed by Janet Deal. Welcome. You have 2 minutes.
Good evening, Council. Ron Bax. Council Member Anthony, last meeting you took umbrage with my public comments. You counseled me not to undermine other people's opinion. That's good advice if the statement is not so patently contrary to common sense that a person off the street would think of it as such. You use your credentials as your family having owned property since before you were born. Well, if they own 1 or 2 properties, that's kind of passive involvement, where the IRS would also consider it, I'm sure, to be passive. Knowing someone who provides housing is not the same as knowing how to provide housing. This format allows you to make statements without fear of retribution. Now I had to wait 3 weeks to respond. And normally it would be 2 weeks, and even then the content gets lost for people tuning in to watch. I want to bring your attention to who has seen The Great Race, the movie The Great Race. And those who haven't seen it, I recommend it. I want to direct your attention to the scene where they're on the iceberg. The principals are, you've seen it. Good, you'll get this. Tony Curtis, Jack Lemmon, Natalie Wood, and Peter Falk. Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis are in this scene, and Tony's measuring the rate at which the water or the iceberg is sinking. Yes. And they have a conversation, he has a conversation with Jack Lemmon, and then he asks Jack to keep it to himself because he doesn't want to upset Natalie. Okay? And Jack Lemmon then says, oh, I'll keep it to myself until the water reaches my lower lip, and I'm sure going to tell somebody. Well, your gaslighting has reached my lower lip. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Janet Deal, followed by Mark Scroggs. Welcome. You have 2 minutes.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council, City Manager, and staff. Janet Deal, 40-year resident. I had comments for 3 minutes, so changing it. BACOD, Burbank Advisory Council on Disabilities, is very active in Burbank and was very active in the adaptive sports being used here in the community and having adaptive days where we can have displays and games going on. And we are petitioning for monies at some point in order to be able to have more equipment for people to use to do like the hiking, because those pieces of equipment are very expensive. Members of the council and executive staff, you have small gifts for me from Tournament of Roses. Oh, ta-da, see, Vanna White right there. Okay, yes, the sticker and the one that you wear. The theme for the parade this year is welcome, and you'll hear more about that from Linda. Olympics and Paralympics, please consider volunteering. And all you do is go online to la28.com and fill in all the things that you're interested in helping in. And BACOD is looking to try and get our volunteers to help at the games as well. And that's it. Right on.
Thank you. Thank you for your comment. I know you're clapping because she hit right the 2-minute mark, right?
That's great.
All right, next up is Mark Scroggs, followed by Robert Nielsen. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Mark Scroggs. You probably know this. The Paramount-Warner Brothers merger has had a temporary restraining order for the next 2 weeks with a possible 2-week extension. The British government is also studying the merger, but they went on vacation because that's what governments do in the summer, like we do here. But they're still studying, but since they have so many more studio films shooting there than the States, they're very concerned. The Writers Guild has also filed a labor-related suit. This has been a long shot, but looks very promising now. People are very anti-merger in general. They also have time now to investigate the Saudi Arabia and the other countries' investments in Paramount. Paramount's giving gifts to the FCC in December, which were more than just like Star Trek coffee mugs, that's for sure. So that's what's going on. So it looks very promising. So we should be happy that the AGs and the people stood up against the Trump regime and the Ellisons. There are more mergers possible that need sunlight. You know, today Disney laid off hundreds of people, mostly because they've merged and merged and merged. I don't know who all it is. I don't think that has affected us that much, except for TV development. But that's one of the causes of these mergers. So I want to say thanks again to Rob Bonta and the other AGs, because they really work hard. I've been on these different Zooms with them. And everybody who signed the Block the Merger petition. I'll have more details on things, that possible scenarios next week. So we'll see what happens then. So that's it for now.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Robert Nielsen, followed by David Donahue. Welcome.
Yeah, hi. My name is Robert Nielsen, and I'm here for the position, the appointment to the Burbank Water and Power. I was one of the 3 applicants for this slot back in 2025. Although I was not selected, I still have a desire to serve my hometown and my community with this position. I have been a resident of Burbank for 27 years after graduating from the University of Iowa with a degree in environmental science and geology. I moved here to begin my career at SoCal Gas, where I served for over 10 years. More recently, I've been working fuel cell hydrogen generation projects for municipalities, government agencies, and the private sector. With 27 years in the regulated and deregulated commodity markets, and have partnered with various state and federal regulatory agencies on incentive programs, utility compliance, and joint project development. I've worked origination, structuring transactions of wholesale power and natural gas deals. In addition, I have managed the sales, purchase, and exchanges of energy transmission of unbundled services, including options, seasonal exchanges, locational swaps, and asset optimization. I have in-depth experience with virtual power plants, power purchase agreements, budgets, and finance. I have a long history of working with cities and municipal agencies to develop on-site generation project and decarbonization roadmaps. In addition, I have implemented demand response programs and electricity supply for many water districts throughout California. I currently subscribe to Burbank's Water Empowers demand response program in my home. I welcome the opportunity to serve on the Burbank Water and Power Board and use my experience to help the city reach its energy management goals. Thank you for your consideration for this position.
Thank you for your comment.
Thank you.
Next up is David Donahue, followed by Dean Karasinki. Welcome.
Good evening, Council. David Donahue, business owner, homeowner. Mayor Takahashi, I want to give you a compliment. You recently had a conversation with a young man, Toby Black's son, Casey Black. You gave him a suggestion, I hope you remember this, to do a newsletter on SB 79 and Metro and the BRT. I was one of the people that, through, I believe, some sort of due diligence, he reached out to have a conversation on. And with his wonderful mother, we were able to put that together a couple days ago. And after about 45 minutes, I think I gave him a little bit more information than he was planning on, but he had a great set of questions. I also understand that he has reached out to Councilmember Nikki Perez. I do believe you may have an email from him. If he wants to have a conversation, I'm sure that Casey would appreciate the opportunity for just a couple minutes. So the SB 79, Metro and the BRT, is very relevant. Last week I was in the court and I watched our defense and the litigation against Metro's attorney. And it was very impressive to see City Attorney Joe McDougall and our representation talk in such detailed specifics to the court, and then to have Metro, in my opinion, nobody else's, falsely state that, well, SB 79 is not going to really do anything because it hasn't been implemented yet. And this is the part, one of my biggest takeaways. City Attorney Joe McDougall said, well, SB 35 was very similar, and we've had 8 applications and approvals. The relevance of what policy does and will do, particularly in my opinion, to the city of Burbank is highly impactful. Being mindful of it, being supportive of the litigation, and fighting for our city is very critical. And to that, I want to thank all of you on council, particularly Vice Mayor Mullins and Councilmember Rosati, for supporting the city's efforts. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Dean Karasinki.
Good evening,
Okay.
Council.
Yes, thank you.
Are you ready?
You have 2 minutes. Go ahead.
My name is Dean Karasinski. I am a hopeful for the Art and Public Places Committee. Just to reiterate, I've been in Burbank since 2011. I grew up in a house of architects, so I've seen a lot of design and art. I'm an artist myself. I've worked on projects, art for Star Wars, Alien, X-Men, Home Alone, Get Out, and a bunch more things. On top of that, I really appreciate all the art that is in Burbank and how it is mandated for many buildings to, contribute to the city as well. But more than anything, I think all the art and sculpture we have in Burbank is very beautiful, and I'd love to be able to have a hand in helping select that for the city and helping the city stay good looking. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Our next speaker is Pat Tomasensky. I have a note here that I'm not sure if you want to speak this time or during the item. It's up to you. Now is fine? All right, then you're next up. And then following her is Diana Pulver. Welcome.
Hey, good to see you. Hey. I'm Pat Tomasensky. I am here to ask you for consideration for a place in the Heritage Commission. I'm a homeowner of a historic house here in Burbank. I was born and raised in this region and have lived in Burbank for over 46 years. And being a historic homeowner, being the history nerd that I am, not too harsh about it, but a history nerd that I am, I think I have a core belief that we need to build upon the histories that exist to have a depth and color to what we have in the city, as opposed to going on zero and nothing, everything fresh and new and bleak. I'd like to just have us go ahead and have a foundation that keeps us strong and valid, which is a depth of history that a lot of LA is, that Burbank needs to maybe not knock down constantly and maybe build upon, or even like the new library maybe reflect like this gorgeous place we're in right now. I want to do stuff like that and be part of that and help it along and keep things beautiful as opposed to being bleak and cheap. That's pretty well where I'm at. But yeah, just Heritage Commission if you need me. I'm around. Take care.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Diana Pulver, followed by Jean Marinelli. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council members. My name is Diana Pulver. I'm a housing provider and a lifelong Burbanker. As you are aware, AB 1482 is in place. We have rent control. And that, coupled with the fact that 63% of Burbank voters voted against rent control, shows that Burbankers are smart enough to know that more rent control is not necessary. And they also know that additional rent control will degrade property values. And, as was noted in a recent report to this council, a significant portion of Burbank revenue comes from property tax. With this in mind, again I say, don't LA my Burbank. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Jean Marinelli, followed by Kristen Gish. Welcome.
Hi, thank you, Mayor, Council, Zoomers, that guy's dog, and happy birthday. I'm Jean Marinelli. I am an incumbent member of the Art and Public Places Committee. I was only appointed 6 months ago, but I have attended 100% of the meetings, and that's really important. Another way to say that is I went to both of them. I was voted by my committee to be the judge from our committee for the next round of electrical boxes, and I really enjoyed the only task that I've been assigned so far. I want to do it for 4 more years, so please, Jean Marinelli, thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Kristen Gish, followed by Lily Rossi. Welcome.
Hi, my name is Kristen Gish. I'm an Animation Guild member, a Burbank resident, and a mother of a 15-year-old. You may have been hearing her babbling earlier. And I just wanted to talk about the Lincoln Beer Company here in Burbank. It was a really, really special brewery. It's one of the few large gathering places that is accommodating towards children. So it was a place where I could meet up with my friends, both friends who have kids, friends who don't have kids. And it also hosted art shows for Animation Guild members. It hosted, local food trucks, and was just a really special business that has had to leave Burbank due to a large rent increase. And I just really want to make the point that the community suffers when rent increases are left unchecked. I just want to say what a special place it was and how I just really feel that my community, is dealing with a big loss with this wonderful business. So I do think that, we need to keep an eye on these bad rent increases. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Lily Rossi, followed by Derek Huron. Welcome.
Hello. I'm Mayor Takahashi, Vice Mayor, City Council members. I am speaking as a private citizen of Burbank, asking that you please reappoint Melanie Renfro, Brian Snodgrass, Emily Weisberg, Carmenita Helliger to the Library Board. Their time and energy and their institutional memory have been so important as we excitedly and are finally building a new library. Each one of them brings years and years of dedication to the city of Burbank. There's such an asset to the library board and the work that we're doing, and I hope that you recognize their willingness to continue to serve with a unanimous reappointment of all 4 of them. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Derek Huron, I think it says, followed by Christina Koppelman. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm Derek Herron. I've been a Burbank resident for 23 years, and I'm applying for the position of the Board of Library Trustees. I volunteered at my kids' school plays and baseball teams, but I was looking for a way to build more civic engagement, so I went through the Leadership Burbank program and recently graduated that group, and was looking for what my next step might be, and they suggested, why don't you get involved in a board? And I saw the opportunity to get involved in the library board, and that one really jumped out to me the most as the one that really resonated with me. I always loved libraries as a kid, and now having my own kids, taking them to the Buena Vista Library or Central Library, and knowing that there's a new library coming out that I can take them to, that's always really appealed to me, to take them there and share books and stories and everything, and all the different ways that we can bring stories and now technology to people going there. I work at Amazon MGM Studios in Culver City. I'm the head of localization operations there, and we take stories that are put out in the world and take them and put them into languages so people can understand what they're meant in their own languages. And I have to balance this creative build of things and also the operational needs of things to make sure that I get the end a product that people like and a rich cultural connection to people, and also it's not overwhelmingly costly for everybody to watch it. So I think for this particular position, I think that might be a good match for this board, that I can be a support in that region, trying to help find support and wherever I can give it in the creative space, but also be cognizant of all the operational complexities and technological change management that will be needed there. So thank you very much for your consideration.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Christina Koppelman, followed by Linda Kozakis. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, and members of the community. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Christina Koppelman, and I am here to respectfully express my interest in the filling the vacancy on the Burbank Water and Power Board. As a Burbank resident, a civil engineer, a certified project management professional, and a water utility worker with 20 years experience, I care deeply about the long-term reliability, safety, and sustainability of the essential services that our community depends on. Throughout my career, I've managed capital improvement projects in water and wastewater systems, from planning, construction, and closeout. In my current work, I oversee projects such as water main replacements, reservoir rehabs, and groundwater well rehabilitation efforts that require sound judgment, fiscal responsibility, stakeholder coordination, regulatory awareness, and a strong commitment to public health and service continuity. I believe I would bring a practical and collaborative perspective to the board. I understand the importance of infrastructure investment, transparent decision-making, cost control, risk management, and clear communication with both technical teams and the public. I also understand that water and power decisions must balance affordability, reliability, environmental stewardship, and the needs of future generations. I am proud to call Burbank home, and I would be honored to serve this community in a meaningful way. If appointed, I would approach the role with preparation, integrity, professionalism, and a sincere commitment to supporting decisions that protect and strengthen BWP's future. So thank you for your consideration. Good night.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Linda Kozakis, followed by Catherine Hagan. Welcome.
Hi, Honorable Mayor, Vice Mayor, and City Council members. My name is Linda Kozakos, President of Burbank Tournament of Roses Association. Tonight, I'm here to urge you to approve the 2027 float rendering for the annual Rose Parade, America's New Year celebration, to be held on January 1st, 2027 in Pasadena. The parade theme is Welcome. Our design shows a crew of pelagos helping to guide various sea travelers safely back to land. Pelagos are not quite pelicans and not quite seagulls, but a mix of the two, hardworking and friendly birds that welcome our sea travelers home. The winning designer is Richard Burrow from Mission Viejo, California. This is Richard's 5th time winning our design contest. Again, I'm urging you to please approve this float design titled Welcome Home.
You guys can clap for that one. I could tell you wanted to.
I was so scared I was about to violate the no clapping rule.
Right? Yes, I know. All right. Next up is, thank you for your comment. Next up is Catherine Hagan, followed by Darren Borders. Welcome.
Yes, I did send in a PowerPoint. I don't know if that's coming up or I just have copies of these. Thank you. Oh, okay. Yeah, I wish I had a fun topic. I don't. I've been a Burbank resident for 40 years. I've lived in the same house, which is 100 years old. We have these two beautiful pine trees right in front of our house. They're about 100 feet tall. They drop very heavy pine cones. You can see that they're starting to lean. Our next door neighbor is also concerned. We had to watch our neighbor down the street have one actually fall on her house. It took her 2 years to get her roof fixed. These have a very shallow root system. So if you look at you can see they're in this very narrow parkway, so they don't have particularly strong root system. So this was just a fairly minor windstorm that blew the tree over. And frankly, if this tree blew over onto us or our neighbors, it would probably crush not only the house, but it would be dangerous. It's also dangerous for people walking by because these pine cones drop. Ours, for some reason, drops particularly heavily. My husband's brand new car was completely dented in the roof. We can't park in front of our house anymore because of these pine cones that drop. If they fell on somebody's head, I hate to think what would happen because they're extremely heavy. So we did petition the city to come out and look at the trees. They came out and said the trees are healthy. They did not address our concerns of public safety, ours and anybody else who parks there or walks by. And so we've sort of been desperate to deal with this, and so we've come to ask you to seriously consider the fact that we really need these to be removed in spite of the fact they're beautiful, but they don't belong where they are in front of our house.
Thank you for your comment.
Okay, sure.
Next up is Darren Borders, followed by Cynthia Pease. Welcome.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the council, city staff, and especially our two birthdays. My name is Darren Borders, and I too am here as a private citizen, so I'm not wearing any of the many hats I have in the community. I'm here to speak tonight on agenda item O.1. This evening will be filled with hard decisions, and those decisions will not please everyone. That said, I come before you tonight to ask that you consider reappointing all 4 incumbents to the Board of Library Trustees. As everyone knows, this is an exciting time for our libraries as the RFP process is underway for the design team and architects of the Civic Center project, which will replace the current Central Library. While I'm sure the entire pool of candidates is worth considering, these 4 individuals have put in many years in support of a new Central Library, and out of a sense of fairness, I speak in support for reappointment and request that they be allowed to finish what they started. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Cynthia Pease, followed by Joe Pimienta. Cynthia here? She left? Okay. I'll hold it in case she comes back. All right, next up is Joe Pimienta, followed by Corey Mensing. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, staff, and everybody present in the chambers. First and foremost, the most important thing, seriously, Kimberly Clark, happy birthday. Thank you for all your work. The next thing that I do want to just mention is just one more time, what a high praise for the event that happened this past weekend. I think it was just like such a success. It was wonderful. Y'all were there. And if you weren't, you missed out. But I also just bring that to attention just because, again, just once more to show like what the city is capable in making an environment that everybody can come and feel welcome and have a wonderful time. So again, thank you for all the staff. It's a lot of work. The other thing that I want to, bring it back to talk about, actually two things. One is, here we go again, to this day, still no apology for bringing a hate group into the city, which is a shame. Something could be done about that. Still no decision has been made about it. Still no apologies have been brought about that. What a bummer. I do just wish that it keeps being louder to say that everyone is welcome here regardless of gender orientation and gender identity. As a non-binary person, as you can imagine, I take this very serious. So when there are hate groups out there wanting to eliminate us from existence, predominantly even at the legislative level, which is very real right now, federally speaking, I take that very serious. And the last thing that I also wanted to talk about is just, once again, I have the concern to continue to losing neighbors due to being priced out. It's just something that keeps happening, and it keeps, I keep trying to find ways of how to make my arguments more reasonable or convincing. But it really is just as simple as that being displaced destroys communities. And just quite frankly, there are multiple solutions. And I'm a big fan of the word solutions as in multiple, because every time that I bring this up and every time that it's mentioned that rent stabilization is a solution, predominantly a 3% rent cap, I get met with the arguments like, well, we just need to build more housing, to which I don't disagree. Like, yes, more housing, but in the meantime, we need something that will keep people immediately housed. I'm speaking on another agenda item, so thank you for your time. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Corey Mensing, followed by Louise Gill.
Hi. Sorry, I thought I was going during the agenda item, but I'm ready. First, happy birthday to everyone celebrating today. I know several people in the room and not in the room. Good evening, Mayor and council members. I want to thank you all for taking the time the past few weeks to chat with me about the commission. I knew it was going to be a short, partial term for Heritage Commission, but I feel like we've accomplished a lot in that short time. I don't know if any of you know this, but some things take a lot of time. I don't know if that's new information. But those discussions have only reinforced to me that there's still more to do, and I'd be honored to continue that work. If there's one thing I'd like to leave you with this tonight, it's how grateful I am for those discussions I've had throughout the community over the last few months. And for those of you who have facilitated that for me, I really appreciate it. And another question on my mind, as Burbank continues to grow and evolve, how can Burbank become more like itself? That's something that I think is really interesting to consider moving forward. I'm sure that question conjures something different for everyone here. So thank you again for your support and your consideration. I appreciate it.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Louise Gill, followed by Susan O'Carroll. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Council members. Happy birthday. I first would like to say thank you for being here and for having the opportunity, regardless of what the outcome would be for the Heritage Committee and to the landlord tenant. I just want to say thank you. I want to express how much I would love to serve the city of Glendale, Burbank, sorry. I have people here from Glendale. I live here, and I do, 23 years. And it would be truly an honor for me to serve the community and to be with integrity and dedication and hard work. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Susan O'Carroll, followed by Cameron Tennyson. Welcome.
Is destroying Burbank's residential neighborhoods worth saving 60 seconds on a bus route? According to Metro, the answer is yes. The city's Assistant Community Development Director in March of 2024 stated that the BRT's running time in a mixed flow lane through Burbank would be only 30 to 60 seconds slower than a dedicated lane. Yet that single minute is the difference between Burbank keeping its community or triggering SB 79, which allows developers to bulldoze single-family homes and duplexes to build 5- and 6-story apartment buildings right next to homes. Shockingly, according to the city, 28.6% of Burbank's residential units sit in this threat zone. Opposing dedicated lanes doesn't mean Burbank won't get a bus. It simply means our residents get to keep their neighborhoods. Burbank even offered a highly reasonable compromise more than 2 years ago, only installing dedicated lanes if the BRT actually achieves 17,500 average daily riders. Metro claims they will hit 30,000 riders on day one, yet they refused Burbank's offer. Why? Because they don't likely believe their own fantasy forecasts. None of Metro's existing BRT lines get 17,500 daily riders. They know if they fall short, and they know it would only take a simple bucket of paint to create a dedicated lane later if ridership ever materialized. Metro is perfectly willing to destroy Burbank neighborhoods just so their bus can go 1 minute faster. But let's be honest, this isn't about transit, and it certainly isn't about affordable housing. SB 79 does not mandate affordability, and market rate and luxury apartments do not generate transit riders. This is about handing over our stable, long-time neighborhoods to developers so that they can make a quick buck. We must stand firm on mixed flow lanes. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Cameron Tennyson, followed by Carmenita Helliger. Welcome.
All right, hello. Good evening, council members. My name is Cameron Tennyson. I've been a resident in Burbank since 2019. First off, I want to thank the firefighters. We live very close to the fire that happened today, so thanks for knocking that out. We were prepared to evacuate, but we appreciate not having to. I was going to spend my time tonight requesting that the council agendize a topic to potentially discuss banning employees from using generative AI art for any public-facing content such as social media. However, I had someone reach out to me yesterday, a private Burbank citizen, to let me know that they had been charged by the city of Burbank for criminal battery because of something that happened at the protest against the hate group for Moms for Liberty on April 28th. I want to make something very clear. These charges are absurd. The fact that the attorney would file these charges is embarrassing. They're not about what is right and what is wrong. No one was harmed at the Mothers of Liberty protest. People were there because a hate group that wants to eradicate trans children were spewing their filth, and the citizens of Burbank demanded that people know that we are accepting of people from all cultures and genders. These charges were filed because a private individual who holds a decent amount of sway, they have PACs, they are very close with Rosati and Mullins, they parrot all of his talking points. He is attempting to use the city of Burbank to silence his political opposition and punish anyone who questions him. How do I know that? Because he very happily bragged about it on social media. He commented that he was working closely with the police to try and find and charge any protesters he could. He tried to tell me that I was trespassing when I was on a public sidewalk. The police officer who's right next to him said, no, they're fine. He tried to censure and remove Van Gorder and censure Anthony from their commissions and city council. He failed once again. So instead, he has taken to finding private citizens to enact his anger on. Please remove those charges.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Carmenita Helliger, followed by Cameron Rodriguez. Welcome.
Good evening, Madam Mayor Takahashi, Madam Vice Mayor Mullins, and Council Members Perez, Rosati, and Anthony, and members of city staff. My name is Carmenita Helliger, and I have proudly called Burbank home for more than 20 years. I've had the honor and privilege of serving as a trustee on the Burbank Board of Library Trustees, and I'm here tonight to ask for your consideration for reappointment. Serving on the library board has been one of my most rewarding experiences of my public service. During my term, I also have had the privilege of serving as chair of the board, and that experience strengthened my leadership skills in ways that I could have never imagined. Whew, why am I nervous? It's helped me grow as a leader. Not only as a leader, but as a person who deeply values collaboration, listening, and service. One of the greatest honors of serving as chair was being invited to participate in the interview panel for our new library director, Eric Lashley. Having the opportunity to help select the person who will lead our library systems into the next chapter was both humbling and inspiring. Since his arrival, Eric has brought energy, vision, and optimism to our libraries. He has helped all of us truly believe in a new central library. As we move closer to making that vision a reality, I respectfully ask that you consider reappointing not only me, but also my fellow library trustees that have reapplied as well. Together, we have built a strong working relationship, gained valuable institutional knowledge, and laid important groundwork for the future. It will be an honor to continue to serve the city of Burbank. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Cameron Rodriguez, followed by Lindsay Francois. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone. Cameron Rodriguez, Burbank resident, Burbank native. Oh man, it's so intense up here. Third generation property manager. I was born and raised here. I'm here to introduce myself for the, seeking appointment to the Landlord-Tenant Commission. I think the landlord and tenant relationship is a naturally frictional one. Tenants want to live in the same space for the same price, and landlords have costs that are increasing more and more in Burbank regarding insurance, utilities, and the like. So I think because of my background in property management, I grew up in a home of property managers. My grandmother started a property management company here 25 years ago. I've seen it from both sides, personally and professionally. I think that I can sit in between some of these disputes and bring some poise, ironically, bring some poise to those conversations and be a catalyst for resolution. That's what I think the answer is. So yeah, thank you for your consideration.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Lindsay Francois, followed by Shelby Grimm. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam Mayor, City Council members, city staff, and everybody here. Hi, guys. I'm here because I'm requesting appointment. Well, they didn't make me narrow it down. So to the Burbank Water and Power Board and the Infrastructure Oversight Board. You guys get to decide. Currently, I am the senior engineer at a startup Moat who does carbon capture and storage. So yeah, I don't know. Before that, I did themed entertainment engineering, and I just thought it would be great to work for our community. So that's where I thought it would fit. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Shelby Grimm, followed by Jomo, and that's my last card. Welcome.
Oh, wow. So I'm second to last. I'm going to teach people the meaning of penultimate if it's the second to last thing I do. Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Council members, Shelby Grimm, I'm a senior citizen hopeful. I'm not a hopeful to be a senior citizen. Actually, I've done 73 trips around the sun. Sometimes I feel like I was going backwards. So I don't have a lot to offer in the sense that, well, I'm older than I look, but not as mature as I should be. The Senior Citizen Board is going to be the most influential board you have because there are more of us joining every day to that demographic. And I'm interested in throwing my considerable weight behind that enterprise. So I'm going to stop talking now. Thank you.
Thank you for your penultimate comment. And next up is Jomo, and that's my last card.
Wow, I want to vote for him. I also hope to be a senior citizen one day. But today I am Jomo, legal name Joseph Morales. I have lived in Burbank for 2 years. Burbank adopted me, so glad to be here. I come to share I feel so honored to be considered for a Heritage Commission, an entity more or less tasked with telling and maintaining the story of Burbank, adding color to what it means to be part of this very special community. I spent my undergrad years studying cultural anthropology, refining my ethnographic skills, and since then I've spent my time working in child welfare. where I've seen firsthand how the stories we tell about our communities really do shape economic and social ramifications for families. Whether or not I'm chosen for this commission, I hope to see emphasis on Native and Indigenous voices in the telling of this city story, and continuing to honor Syrian heritage, Armenian heritage, and our dental heritage for our namesake. As our city looks forward and wrestles, thank you, I wasn't sure where to land. As our city looks forward and wrestles with big questions of the 21st century, I hope that we have a Heritage Commission that can empower you all and empower our community in making this history accessible. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. That's the end of our in-person public comment, and I have to say, I'll try to stay neutral, but you guys made it tough tonight for me to stay neutral and to laugh. Well done. All right, we have completed in-person general public comment, and we'll be moving on to call-in public comment. For callers, please remember to lower the volume on your TV or computer and take your phone off speaker when you deliver public comment. Madam City Clerk, do we still have our callers on the line for public comment?
We still have 4 callers.
All right, please patch them through.
The first caller is Carolyn Garcia Luna.
Welcome. You have 2 minutes.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. My name is Carolyn Garcia Luna. I'm calling regarding the property at 510 East Valencia. A historic assessment was already conducted for this 1929 property. I want to ask, what were the official findings of this historic investigation? Furthermore, what specific steps can the community take right now to save this historic property from demolition? We must preserve Burbank's architectural heritage. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comment. Next caller, please.
The next caller is Deborah Jones.
Welcome. You have 2 minutes.
Hi, my name is Hi, Council people and Mayor. My name is Deborah Jones. I'm calling. I don't have anything prepared because I just kind of got wired up about this today. The guy came up and was talking about seniors and how we support seniors. We're going to need to do more than that. We're going to need to subsidize seniors. Benefits are being taken away as we speak, and I am part of the delivery program for Burbank Nutrition. These people are losing their benefits for yes, they can drive. Yes, but they're still senior citizens, and they don't want to drive all the time, and they're not able to always drive, and they need help, and they're losing benefits, and the city's going to have to step up. I understand that we have all these programs for them, but also I wanted to say the programs are too expensive. I was going to take, my husband and I are both seniors. We were going to do, Tai Chi and a couple other things. They're $199 for 6 months. That's out of a lot of people's reach, so that needs to be adjusted and subsidized perhaps. But we just need to take care. The parks and pools are great, and they're fantastic. I'm just finding my notes because I heard a lot of things. But also the volunteers develop relationships. It's not just the food. It's not always that. It's checking in on someone who may not have anyone else to check in on them. And we just need to subsidize these programs, the nutrition programs. They're losing money rapidly, state and federal. It's all going away. And then, the program, one of them, lost 80 people recently because they couldn't afford it. The food program, it was a food program. And they were unable to, I don't know how to say it, but they lost 80 people. They had to reduce their program by 80 people. And that's a lot. That's a lot of people who now can't go stand in line to get food to eat. And the videos
That's your 2 minutes. Thank you for your comment. Appreciate you calling in. Next caller, please.
The next speaker is Gina.
Welcome. You have 2 minutes.
Hi, Council and city staff members. Thank you so much for all of your time and effort and energy tonight. I know it's a big night appointing so many people to boards and commissions. I am not going for a board or commission, but I did want to voice my full-hearted support for both Joseph Morales, or JOMO, and Joe Pimentia for Art in Public Places and Heritage Commission, respectively. Both Joe and JOMO are such passionate advocates for our community, and we would be lucky to have them serve on our boards and commissions in the city.
I also just wanted to say, when you're considering these things, to please look at the original appointment date of some of your incumbents. I looked at them, and some of them have been on these boards for quite some time. I think it's really wonderful that we have so many people that are willing to serve the city, and I would love to hear more and new voices in the room, basically when every decision is made. I know you have a tough road ahead of you tonight, but thank you so much, and good luck in your decision making.
Thank you for your call. Next caller, please.
The last caller is anonymous.
Welcome. You have 2 minutes.
Hello. The Police Commission recently theorized the expensive Orwellian surveillance technology being thrust on unwilling residents without a vote or consent is an issue, and that it's beyond their control. Well, City Council, canceling the flock contract and not substituting with any other surveillance technology is within your oversight power. This needs to be agendized by City Council post-haste. The Burbank Police Commission has on their agenda physical local data storage centers because they're more ethical than cloud storage. Preposterous. I'll ask again. How many members of City Council, Burbank PD, and or Police Commission have traveled to Flock headquarters? How many of City Council, Burbank PD's, and Commission's outside business interests been disclosed? Are any Burbank officials paid consultants for Flock? Have any elected officials signed NDAs with any surveillance technology providers? Residents, join DFLOC Burbank to secure our community and fully reclaim our First and Fourth Amendment rights. Trans rights are equal rights, and land back.
Thank you for your comment. Is that the end of our comments?
That was our last caller, Mayor.
Okay. All right. There being no further public comment, I now declare the general public comment period closed. Now is the time for a brief response from City Council, City Manager, or City Attorney. City Manager, City Attorney, do you have any responses?
Yes, 2 items. One, Catherine Hagan, with the trees on Niagara. We did get that email, I think yesterday. I did talk to Ms. Garcia. We are going to be, so they had their tree evaluated in March of 2025. So we're actually going to have our certified arborist go out there this week and look at the tree again. So it's been over a year, and we will report back to them. So we have their contact information. So they'll be in touch this week, and hopefully that we could resolve that. And then I don't know if I heard exactly right, but one of the callers talked about subsidies for seniors and things like that. So if you do qualify, there are some income qualifications, but we do have our Burbank Pass program, and that's just not just for seniors, but for Burbank residents. And we do have some generous income qualifications, and if you meet those, we do then have generous subsidies related to different programs and services that the city provides, including classes. So you could go Parks and Rec, it's Park Recreation Department, you could call them or look on the website, Burbank Pass Program, and you should be able to find that.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, who would like to go first? Council members. Councilmember Rosati?
I'll lead off. Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just wanted to congrats to the pharmacy retail program facilitators for getting that up and off the ground. I know a couple of people that were in that program and were raving about it, so thank you for your hard work on that. Congrats to our Park and Rec team for all you do in our community. I go to a lot of events. They're all high quality, where everyone can participate, and I'm very proud of that. The FIFA fan zone. I'll just say, wow. The planning involved in that was amazing. I was there with a critical eye, and everything I thought was just handled excellent. From the security, fire department was there, police department was there. There were plenty of first aid centers, cooling centers, kid zones, trash receptacles, food. There wasn't enough shade, but it was a hot day. Shade was a premium. But all in all, just kudos to the staff and to the facilitator. I was really, really impressed. I know that was our first time, and I think we knocked it out of the park. And I really enjoyed the camaraderie of all the participants, and I also liked the fact that the facilitator allowed the restaurants on San Fernando Road to participate by not blocking them out, but giving them view of the zones and be able to participate and the patrons were filled the restaurants because of that. So really high marks, really high marks. The gentleman regarding the data center, I will be putting that on a future agenda tonight. Linda Kazakos, thank you for decades of service to the parade. I look forward to that agenda item and another fabulous choice for a theme. The Hagens regarding the tree, I did see an email, as the city manager said, from Ms. Garcia. I think it was at 11 or 12 o'clock today, saying that they'd send out an arborist to check out those trees. Ms. O'Carroll, thank you again for always keeping us abreast on the BRT. It's nice to have different points of view and bounce ideas off, so thank you very much. And to everyone who's participating here tonight for the boards and commissions, it's such a tough decision. We always have so many people, and all I can say is if you do not make it tonight, please continue to apply. Things change throughout the year, people's schedules change, but we thank you so much for taking the time, filling out the application, wanting to serve, and coming. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Who would like to go next? Councilmember Anthony?
And just to piggyback off that, we just heard there's 2 more vacancies, so rewind to the beginning of the meeting and you'll see 2 more seats available. Thank you for everybody for coming down. Congratulations to Parks and Rec. Congratulations to the float. It's looking fantastic. There was a couple speakers who came up who asked some questions about a data center. Do we have any information on that? Somebody was asking about
It's
that.
not on the agenda, so no, we won't be discussing it this evening, but Councilmember Rosati already indicated he was thinking of asking for an additional agenda item.
Okay, but we can't
A
even
future
talk about it
agenda
because it's
item.
not on the agenda and it needs to come back later.
Correct.
Okay, I was just clarifying that. Okay, great. I feel like we're just going back and forth in 2-minute increments, Mr. Bax. Shoot me an email. We can resolve this. Otherwise, it's just. And you feel free to share the email. I'm happy to tell you my experience, and I'm happy to hear about yours. I don't think the issue between us is our past lived experience and work experience. I think it's just a disagreement on how we move forward. So trying to go back and say, well, we did this and you did that and you didn't do this, I don't know if that helps in our conversation. Shoot me an email. We'll go through it, and then from there we can move on. I think that would save you minutes at the podium in the future. Yeah, we do have a long appointment process ahead of us, so we'll get to it. Okay.
Okay. Anyone else? Councilmember Perez, would you like to go next?
Man, I wanted to go penultimate so I could make some kind of joke about it, but
Yeah. Well, you
so
can be
close.
the penultimate.
I have to say that's
Anti-penultimate.
I have to say, and this is maybe my bias as a former library board member, but that was the loudest I've heard the library board laugh at a joke ever. Thank you to everybody who came and gave public comment. I really think it's amazing when the folks who are interested in serving our community come before the podium. I'm so grateful to all of you who have called, also emailed, who have met up with me for discussions to talk about the appointment. That's been really helpful to put a face to the name and learn about your interest in the city. And I'm looking forward to discussing it when we get to that agenda item. Really excited about our rose float design. It looks great, as always. We are also one of the last cities that has an all-volunteer Tournament of Rose committee, so shout out to them. They are amazing. And last but of course not least, big congrats to our FIFA fan zone for everything that went together to put that, for Econ Dev staff, Parks and Rec staff. PD was out there sweating in those uniforms. Everything you did to make this amazing was fascinating. And I think Mary put it best. It really showed that Burbank can do these kind of events, and we do them well. And so I'm looking forward to more big debuts on the international stage. And I know that, the country, the world, everybody's looking at us. And the now being the media center for the Olympics has made that an even bigger deal. And I'm sorry, I'm the biggest nerd, so I have to highlight this. And Mandeep, if you are somewhere listening, we talked about this a lot. Burbank was not only selected because of Warner Brothers, but because we have a 99.9% reliability rate in energy, so they know that the power's not going to go out here. So shout out to BWP. They are the reason we were selected. You're amazing. I love Burbank. Thank you.
Vice Mayor, do you want to go next?
Thank you. What else can I say? A lot of great things are happening in the city. First of all, congratulations to our Parks and Rec staff for doing an amazing job. Thank you. I see some of you here in the audience, so I want to congratulate you because you always do serve with pride here in the city of Burbank. Congratulations for FIFA. Heard so many amazing stories, fun things were happening in the downtown area. And to be honest, at first I was like, oh my God, I hope they pull this off without any issues. Yeah, you and I talked about it, Mr. City Manager. So kudos to the staff, to the police department, the fire department, and all the leadership and all the departments that get involved, Mr. Prescott and his staff, and Ms. Garcia as well. So great job. I know the community loved it. I know people that came into Burbank loved it. So I too look forward for the next event. So we'll see what's going to happen. Also, congratulations for the pharmacy program. Sounds like it's really an amazing program, and hopefully it's very successful for our future training for the pharmacies, right? Now, all the boards and commissions, or applicants for boards and commissions, thank you, thank you, thank you. I know it takes a lot to be here. It takes a lot to apply. For all of you that reached out, whether it was an email, a phone call, we've all had individuals who we spoke to on the phone and in person, through emails. I know it takes a lot for you to put yourself out there. So please keep up the good work. Please continue applying. If you don't get appointed tonight, we always have openings. And your willingness to serve this beautiful community. So I wanted to put that out there. And then we're going to be obviously taking the votes real soon here. But it doesn't mean that one of us didn't vote for you, that you're not qualifying. It's basically the interviews that we've done. And then also some incumbents have applied and they've been doing a great job. So it goes on and on. So I appreciate you being here and applying. So we're going to talk about the 100 flower at the end of the meeting. And Ms. Deal, thank you for bringing us goodies all the time. I love these flowers, and I always look forward to having one when you come. And of course, Linda, amazing job as usual. You always surprise us, and what a beautiful title to welcome, as we always welcome people here in the city of Burbank. So thank you for all you do and for your committee and for being here tonight to show us the rendering. The trees have been addressed. We have the email from Ms. Garcia, and that's going to be followed on. And Susan, I think she's still here in the room. Is okay? Yes. Thank you for always bringing us updated information. And actually, I look forward to your emails and you coming here and giving us all the updates about BRT and about Metro and all the projects. Okay, I think the last one, I think Mr. City Manager you addressed regarding the senior programs. There was one caller that Carolyn that talked about the historic house, and I wasn't sure if anyone caught what is that all about, because I'm not aware what the issue is, if he can help us out with that. Of course.
Mayor Takahashi, members of the City Council, Patrick Prescott, Community Development Director. The house located at 510 East Valencia is an old house. There is a project application pending for an 8-unit building. It's in a multifamily zone. The house has been modified so extensively that it doesn't rise to the level of preservation. We touched on this before. I think the caller called in previously. So, yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't qualify. That's
right.
Basically the answer to it.
Yes, and we've conveyed that to the caller, I believe, multiple times. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make sure we acknowledge. We acknowledge the caller for that. Okay, well, thank you all, and going to move forward with after the mayor with the agenda.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming here tonight and speaking. I appreciate all of your comments, those who called as well, and those who emailed us and reached out to us since our last city council meeting. The staff and council have already addressed a number of items. I just wanted to reflect as well for those who applied for the positions. Thanks for being here tonight to speak, and those who also mailed and met with us. And in addition to applying to future commissions if you do not make it tonight, I also encourage you to attend the commissions you're interested in and go to the meetings and speak up there in public comment. You can make a tremendous impact without even being on the board. You can speak, talk about what's going on. It's important to you. There are many, before I was on council, I was a board kind of groupie. I've been to every single board and commission we have in our city and attended, and I spoke. And many times the boards and commissions took up the items that were suggested. So you never know what might make an impact. So it's really important to go. And if you're interested in a particular board, if you attend, it really helps them get to know you as well. And then let's see. Oh, if you are here tonight and you already spoke, please stay through the item. We'll remember that you spoke, so thank you. Ms. Kazakos and Ms. Deal, thank you for bringing the rose floats and the rose parade materials. So excited about the rose float, and I can't wait. It's so exciting, so thank you. And I do want to address Mr. Donahue's comment about the high schooler who is volunteering for me with the newsletter. Thank you for bringing him up. I do have a few volunteers who help out the mayor's office. We have one volunteer who's doing a newsletter about summarizing the council meetings, getting to look at that, and a couple other cool things. And so this is a new volunteer, and he's actually working on a newsletter for like what's going on in the city, like how you can get involved in general. And so I hadn't heard that he's doing the SB 79 BRT stuff, so I'll find out my next meeting with him. So I appreciate you bringing that up. And then lastly, the FIFA fan zone, I also want to talk about that. I was going to talk about that at the end of the meeting, but I'm glad that you guys all brought it up because I went to both days. I was there most of the, I did not go to the concert though, but I went to most days, most of the hours, both days. It was amazing. And it was, really showcasing what we can do downtown in our city and what a third place looks like. And I really appreciate that. And I also want to thank staff. I know it was not easy, but to the folks there, it looked like it was easy. You made it look easy. So really appreciate that. And I also noticed there was a ton of posts on social media about it. So a lot of folks who'd come to Burbank, maybe who'd never been before, or hadn't been in a while, and this was their impression of us. So it's just well done, and excited that we did that. It pushed us to do that, and now we can do more of them, right? When's the next FIFA? We can do that again. 4 years. All right. And with that, we will move on to the next section of our meeting. The consent calendar. The consent calendar may be enacted in one motion. Madam City Clerk, please read the consent calendar.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have 7 items on tonight's consent calendar. Item 1 is approval of the City Council minutes of the joint meeting of June 30th, 2026, and the dark meetings of July 7th and July 14th, 2026. Item 2 is adoption of an ordinance amending and restating Article 3 of Chapter 2 of Title 8 of the Burbank Municipal Code relating to the sustainable water use practices and finding of a CEQA exemption, 14 CCR 15061, 15301, 15305, 15307, and 15308. Item 3 is adoption of a resolution authorizing the execution of a 10-year lease agreement with 2 10-year options to extend with Family Service Agency of Burbank for the property located at 2721 West Burbank Boulevard. That's APN 2438-001-900. Item 4 is adoption of a resolution authorizing the execution of a subaward amendment with the Los Angeles County Aging and Disabilities Department to accept subaward funds in the amount of $976,937 to support the City of Burbank supplemental nutrition programs and supportive services, to authorize the city manager to execute the subaward agreement, and to amend the adopted fiscal year 2026-2027 budget by appropriating funds. Item 5 is the approval and adoption of the Burbank Water and Power Physical Security Plan for the California Public Utilities Commission's Decision 19-01-018. Item 6 is approval of a memorandum of understanding between the Southern California Association of Governments and the City of Burbank for a Sustainable Communities Program Active Transportation and Safety Project grant in the amount of $900,000 for the Safer Downtown Burbank Mobility Network Improvement Project. And item 7 is approval of the City of Burbank Tournament of Roses 2027 float rendering. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar?
I move to make a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
All right. Motion made by the Vice Mayor, second by Councilmember Rosati. Could we get a roll call, please?
Yes.
Oh, now can we get a roll call?
Councilmember Anthony?
Yes.
Councilmember Perez?
Yes on everything else, abstain on number 3.
Councilmember Rosati?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mullins?
Yes.
And Mayor Takahashi?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, tonight we have 3 reports to council. After staff's presentation, the City Council will proceed with in-person public comment only. Speakers will be allowed to speak on the item at the conclusion of the presentation as long as the speaker has not spoken on that item during the first period of general public comment. Please be sure to submit your public comment card now, as no additional public comment cards will be accepted once the comment period commences following the presentation. The first report to council tonight is the appointment to fill vacancies on various City and of Burbank boards, commissions, and committees. I welcome Madam City Clerk Kimberly Clark, birthday girl, to please present the report.
Thank you again, Madam Mayor. Good evening, and members of the City Council. Kimberly Clark, City Clerk. Tonight I will be presenting reports to Council. Item number 1, appointment to fill vacancies on various City of Burbank boards, commissions, and committees. On May 1st, 2026, the City Clerk's Office began advertising and accepting applications for the upcoming vacancies set to occur on July 31st, 2026 for the following BCCs. The Board of Building and Fire Code Appeals, Burbank Water and Power Board, Community Development Block Grant Committee, the Board of Library Trustees, the Senior Citizen Board, the Heritage Commission, the Infrastructure Oversight Board, the Art in Public Places Committee, the Civil Service Board, and the Landlord Tenant Commission. To obtain qualified candidates, a notice of vacancy was publicized through multiple channels, including the city's website, announcements at city council meetings, all social media platforms managed by the city clerk's office, through a press release distributed to the Burbank Leader and myburbank.com, with notices posted on the City Hall bulletin board, as well as in the Administrative Services Building, Community Services Building, Recreation Centers, and libraries, by using outreach to community groups and organizations, and through the mailing of constant contact email notifications. The deadline to submit applications to the city clerk's office was Monday, June 1st, 2026 at 5 o'clock p.m. The city clerk's office received a total of 72 qualified applications, 16 of which indicated a first and second choice to fill the 28 vacancies. The applications are listed in the order received. We have some information to provide on the appointments to fill unexpired terms. In addition to the annual recruitment for full 4-year terms ending June 31st, sorry, that's a typo. There is not 31 days in July. In June, July 31st, 2030, council will consider appointments for the following unexpired terms. Infrastructure Oversight Board. On May 1st, 2026, the city clerk's office began advertising and accepting applications for one vacancy on the Infrastructure Oversight Board for an unexpired term ending July 31st, 2029. This vacancy was created by the removal of board member Maria Coronado due to excessive absenteeism. The deadline for submitting applications to the city clerk's office was Monday, June 1st, 2026 at 5 o'clock p.m. The city clerk's office received a total of 5 applications: Alexander Kalegian, James Correa, Kenneth San Miguel, Lindsay Francois, and Arno Dionysian. The applications are listed in the order received. Next is Burbank Water and Power Board. On May 7th, 2026, the city clerk's office began advertising and accepting applications for one vacancy on the Burbank Water and Power Board for an unexpired term ending July 31st, 2028. This vacancy was created by the resignation of board member Leila Kashani. The deadline for submitting applications to the city clerk's office was Monday, June 8th, 2026 at 5 o'clock p.m. The city clerk's office received a total of 5 applications from Thomas Uper, Robert Nielsen, Victor Terracina, Christopher Malote, and Lindsay Francois. Please note that all 5 applicants applied to be considered for the full 4-year term and the unexpired term. If appointed to serve for a full term, the applicant's name will be removed from consideration for the unexpired term. Next is the Senior Citizen Board. On May 21st, 2026, the city clerk's office began advertising and accepting applications for one vacancy on the Senior Citizen Board for an unexpired term ending July 31st, 2028, which was created by the resignation of board member Era Boyajian. The deadline for submitting applications to the city clerk's office was Monday, June 22nd, 2026 at 5 o'clock p.m. The city clerk's office received a total of 6 applications: James Sartoris, John Medici, Jason Napolitano, Michael Caggiano, Diana Encarnacion, and Gloria Salas. Please note that John Medici, Jason Napolitano, and Michael Caggiano have applied to be considered for both the full 4-year term and the unexpired term. If appointed to serve for a full term, the applicant's name will be removed from consideration for the unexpired term. Individuals who applied for more than one BCC have their priority selection listed next to their name. Additional information regarding incumbents has also been included as a reference. Please note that after this report was distributed, Lisa Dyson withdrew her application for the Board of Library Trustees. At this time, I'm happy to answer any questions council might have.
Okay, thank you. The public comment period for this report to council is now beginning, and no additional cards will be accepted. Madam City Clerk, how many public comment cards do we have to council?
We have 16.
16? All right, so you get 3 minutes. You don't have to use all 3 minutes, but you get 3 minutes. And we will start with Diana Encarnacion, followed by Jody Alexander. Welcome.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, and City Council and staff. My name is Diana Encarnacion, and I'm currently a senior board member. I've been on the board for 2 years, and just like I filled out my speaker card incorrectly, I filled out my application incorrectly, and I apologize for that. I should have requested a 4-year term and 4 more years. And I want to apologize for that. I'm in hopes that you will consider my application for the 4-year term so I can continue what I have started with the senior board. We just completed a new subcommittee, and I'm the chair for the awareness for the city, for the senior centers. And we just completed our first community conversations. We didn't want to tag a senior line to it, and it was very successful at the Olive Gardens Apartments. So I hope that you will consider that, and that means that I would move out of the 2-year term that Ara Boyajian gave up and be qualified for the 4-year. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Jody Alexander, followed by Tony Anselmo. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and members of the council. My name is Jody Alexander, and I've been a Burbank resident for 26 years. I've applied to serve on the Senior Citizen Board because I've been serving older adults. I've applied to serve on the Senior Citizen Board because serving older adults has been the focus of my career for more than 25 years. As a social worker, I've worked with seniors and families in hospice, healthcare, and case management, helping navigate some of life's most challenging situations. I would welcome the opportunity to bring that experience to the board, to listen to the needs of Burbank citizens and older adults, and to help strengthen awareness of the resources and services available to them. And thank you for your time and consideration of my application.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Tony Anselmo, followed by Alex Kalejian. Welcome.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, City Council. I'm applying for one of the openings at the Heritage Commission. I've lived and worked in Burbank for 45 years. I was a traditional animator at Disney, and I am currently the voice of Donald Duck for the Walt Disney Company. I hope to have the opportunity to preserve Burbank historical and architectural landmarks for future generations, and I thank you for your consideration.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Alex Kalejian, followed by Joe Pimienta. Welcome.
Good evening, City Council members. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity for regular citizens to apply for city commissions and boards. My only comments will be not related to my resume and my responses to my application that you could see, but the steps that I took when I applied for these commissions. My first choice is civil service. My second choice is the infrastructure oversight. For both of those commissions, not only have I reviewed the agenda and read the meeting minutes for the past decade for both, but I've spoken to the retiring board member for the Civil Service Commission, Iveta Ovsepian, and I've spoken to her at length of what the responsibilities are. I've spoken to other Civil Service Commission members in other cities and at Los Angeles County just to get an idea of what it is that they do, what it is that they do differently, and how we could potentially be better in the event I'm ever appointed. And then secondly, for the Infrastructure Oversight Board, I've spoken to a former member of that board, understood what it is that he did, the responsibilities that come with it, so that way I can ensure that I attend every single meeting prepared, qualified, and ready to speak out the matters. This is something that I've spoken at length with my wife in work, so I know that I can commit the time that is needed for these committees or commissions and ensure that I don't miss meetings, because from my understanding with all of the meetings with you, that attendance is vital and important. So I intend to put in the work, I intend to put in the research, and I intend to make sure that the requirements for the commission are met, at least for me. So thank you very much.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Joe Pimienta, followed by Brian Snodgrass. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, staff, and everybody present in the chamber. My name is Joe Pimienta, or legally Jose Pimienta. You may know me for coming often to City Council advocating for multiple causes. But today I'm here because I would like to be considered to be a commissioner for the art in public places. Something that still makes me feel odd about this is talking a little bit about myself in public, but here we go. So a little bit about my background. I am an award-winning illustrator and author who has been making graphic novels for a very long time. And I also have a background in pre-production and visual development in the entertainment industry. The reason why I think this is relevant is because this has given me the tools to actually see a project go from inception all the way into fruition. And I don't mean just that from an idea to finished idea, but also what it takes to actually take a project that we think could be a cohesive and interesting vision, allocating resources, looking for the better outcome, and constantly communicating back and forth with multiple people. So with that background, as you can imagine, I am someone who lives for the arts, loves the arts, wants to see more art, because I'm a firm believer that public art is what gives a city its visual personality and says what the city is all about. And for all the amount of time that I've been up here, I'm pretty sure that I can say boldly that I love this city and I would love to see it shine even more. Much appreciation to everything else that has been done previously. So frankly, that is pretty much all I had to add about it. I would like to contribute to the community in other ways as well. And I debated saying this, but I might as well just put it in there, that if I do get considered and be put in this committee, it is less likely that I'll be making it out here to these meetings, because and I'm sure that some people would appreciate that. Anyways, but for serious, I like being involved, and I think this would be a great opportunity for me, as well as I think I can contribute to the city. So once again, thank you for your city, thank you for your service, and I hope to be considered. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Brian Snodgrass, followed by Emily Weisberg. Welcome.
Hello, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members. Happy birthday to our birthday people. Oh, Patrick's gone. And hi, there's the voice of Donald Duck right there, and I'm freaking out. Hi. Sorry, geeking. Over the past few years, I've served as a trustee on the Board of Library Trustees, and it has been one of the most fulfilling honors of my life. For me, board service extends far beyond just sitting in a meeting once a month at the Central Library. It means being an active ambassador for our public wherever I go, whether I'm connecting with local families, partnering with neighboring nonprofits, or attending any community meeting that I go to. We have celebrated such great momentum at our library, seeing projects like the Spark Lab open, to watching the new library mobile hit the streets proves just how vital our library system is to the fabric of Burbank. But what makes this work so rewarding is our exceptional board team, including the 3 other members who are here tonight to also seek reappointment. Our current Board of Library Trustees is truly one of the strongest, most collaborative groups that I have ever worked with. Each trustee brings immense heart, vision, and expertise, and our seamless dynamic has been essential to driving our advocacy for a new central library forward. From day one, this board has set out to build support and community excitement for a new central library. And after years of training, advocacy, and persistent outreach, we are finally on the cusp of turning that vision into a physical space. A modern central library isn't just a place for books, it is an engine for education, technology, local arts, and social equity. And my entire career has been dedicated to those exact values. Through 19 years leading youth initiatives at the Burbank Y, and my current work expanding accessible arts education as the executive director for Conundrum Theater Company, I have spent 2 decades listening to what Burbank families need. Continuity matters, especially at such a pivotal moment for this library. I strongly believe that keeping this dedicated group of trustees together is the best path forward to guide the Central Library project across the finish line. I humbly ask for your vote for reappointment, both for myself and for my outstanding colleagues that are here as well tonight, so that we can keep this incredible momentum going for the people of Burbank. Thank you for your time and your leadership.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Emily Weisberg, followed by Melanie Renfro. Welcome.
Hi. Good evening, Mayor Takahashi, Vice Mayor Mullins, council members, and city staff. I'm here this evening to ask for your support in reappointment to the Board of Library Trustees. And while my comments tonight will focus on my reappointment, I also want to wholeheartedly advocate for the reappointment of my 3 colleagues, Carmenita Helliger, Melanie Renfro, and Brian Snodgrass. All 3 have served with integrity, with passion, and a commitment to making our Burbank public libraries the best they can be. Serving as a trustee has been one of the most rewarding experiences I've had. Over the years, I've had the opportunity to work alongside my fellow trustees as we built a strong team. We laughed a lot, we gained meaningful advocacy skills, and learned about the myriad ways in which our libraries are so much more than books. And under the new-ish leadership of our phenomenal library services director, Eric Lashley, we've watched as our dream of a new central library, a place that will more meaningfully serve our entire community, has become a reality. He taught us to believe. Now, as we look ahead to the final chapter of this journey, I'm asking to be reappointed for one final term so I can help finish the work alongside my colleagues. Reappointing all four of us will allow the board to retain a hugely important sense of continuity, utilize our shared institutional memory, and give us the gift of continuing to share the unbelievable work being done by current library staff. It will also help us educate our amazing community members about the facts and importance of our new central library and our libraries as a whole. I hope you'll grant me the opportunity to continue this hugely important work, and I thank you for your time this evening.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Melanie Renfro, followed by Gloria Salas. Welcome.
Thank you. Mayor Takahashi, City Council members, my name is Melanie Renfro. I'm here to ask for your reappointment tonight to the Board of Library Trustees. Since my time as a board member, I've been an advocate for many changes over the years. The addition of the Spark Lab, going fine-free, adding a social worker to the staff, safety upgrades, protocols, multiple programs for job seekers. These are just a few examples. The library is awesome. The list is long. I'll always especially be grateful for the ways in which they were on the front lines of helping the community to get information during COVID times, and the access to their collection, both online and off, was a lifesaver for me and my family and friends. Recently, I've applauded the addition of our bookmobile, a literal fourth mobile branch for our community. I'd love to be reappointed tonight so that I can continue to advocate for what I believe will be a very important next few years of continued change for our community with the building of a new central library. I'd really appreciate the opportunity to continue working alongside Darren, Lily, Moira, also hopefully Emily, Brian, and Carmenita, an incredible group of board members to serve as liaisons to our libraries, our communities, and our council. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Gloria Salas, followed by Ann Nahabedian. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Manager, and Madam City Clerk. My name is Gloria Salas, and if those of you who may know me know that I do not like to talk about myself. I'd rather talk about the people who are behind me in all my endeavors, and all my volunteer endeavors. So this will be a very short request. I applied, as you know, for the position on the senior board. When I was 25 years old, I never, ever, ever imagined that I would be asking for a position on the senior board. I like to say advancing on the ladder of life. And so apparently I've advanced on that ladder of life. I have just returned from a trip from Canada, turning over my governorship to my successor in the Zonta Club International. And so now I have free time to be able to devote myself to a senior board position or going up the ladder of life position. So thank you for your consideration, and thank you for all that you do for our city.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Ann Nahabedian, followed by Arno Dionysian. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members. My name is Ann Nahabedian, and I'm here to ask for your support in my reappointment to the Landlord-Tenant Commission, where I currently serve as Vice Chair. I believe that being neither a landlord nor a tenant, I've been able to bring a very neutral and unbiased perspective to every case we've received in the past 4 years. I have thoroughly enjoyed working on this commission. More than just me giving my time and helping the people in this community, I have learned a lot. I've expanded my field of knowledge, and I feel like I have a better finger on the pulse of this city when it comes to, obviously, residency, landlords, tenants, laws, AB 1482, the Brown Act. I've been schooled as much as I've tried to school our residents and our community members. And with every case, I've met wonderful residents of this city and people involved in this community. Some of you who already know me know that I am very active in the community here, and that service to community is something that's very important to me, whether through this commission or my volunteer work at the Burbank Youth Center or the ANCA or the Relief Society. I'm a big believer in being of service to the city where you live. If you choose to reappoint me, I would be honored to continue serving on this commission for another 4 years. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Arno Dionysian, followed by Matthew Doyle. Welcome.
Good evening, Council. Like half the chamber, I want to introduce myself before, because my name will be on the docket before you for appointment to the Infrastructure Oversight Board this evening. I've reached out to each of you individually, as the Vice Mayor pointed out. I want to introduce myself to the Council collectively. My name is Arno Dionysian. I'm an economics student and lifelong Burbank resident. I'm applying to the IOB this evening because I want to have an opportunity to have input in the way my city builds, and I think that's the best way I can do that within the structure of the city of Burbank. I wanted to give you all a rough idea tonight of the direction I would hope to take in advising council if appointed. As I'm sure no member of the city council is unaware, Burbank is facing a difficult few years. For reasons beyond the extent of our humble city, we're going to be facing a much more difficult time raising dollars and using those dollars to build our community, as Burbank has notoriously been successful at doing in the past. In order to meet these goals, Burbank will need to build wisely. As council seems to understand, this means Burbank will have to build in ways that integrate with our plan for the city overall, including cooperating with other commissions, other boards, and other spheres that we hope to improve. Burbank hopes to add new housing, so we plan projects like the Burbank Civic Center, where we hope to add housing. However, unfortunately, that happened to have panned out. We're worried about the cost to taxpayers, so we decide to embark on a project with a private partner to help reduce that burden on taxpayers. Some of the city's projects under the CIP do this, and some of them don't. I would advise City Council look at this as strong as we can. And speaking, I've spent the last several months learning what I can about the city's infrastructure pipeline and the role the IOB plays in advising City Council. I've attended IOB meetings, learned about the role IOB plays with City Council, and discussed with IOB members their position and their perspective on someone like me, and their thoughts on whether or not that has value to the board. Speaking frankly, I realize I'm in the company of very qualified cross-section of professionals from across the city of Burbank, whether they be attorneys or accountants or engineers who have a very thorough career behind them that makes them very qualified to offer the city council in any number of matters. I would like to humbly suggest that, however that may be the case, City Council has an organization of very qualified professionals on staff for the purpose of offering them professional, expert advice on the matters City Council decides. They're called city staff. The purpose of commissions, as it was explained to me, was to allow this community opportunities to offer perspectives that would otherwise not be offered, and I hope I would humbly present my perspective for that consideration, and I trust, I have a very qualified number of folks behind me, so I trust you'll make a very good decision. Have a good evening.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Matthew Doyle, followed by William Luddy. Welcome.
Thank you. Mayor Takahashi and members of City Council, my name is Matt Doyle. I'm a 36-year resident of the city of Burbank, and I'm honored to be before you seeking reappointment to the Civil Service Board. Serving on the board has been both a privilege and a meaningful way to give back to the city my family and I have called home for more than 3 decades. I respectfully asked for the opportunity to continue that service. I believe I bring a unique combination of professional expertise and public service experience to the board. I've devoted nearly 40 years to the fields of human resources and labor relations in the public sector. For more than 33 years, I served the City of Glendale, our neighbor, ultimately as its Human Resources Director. In that role, I served as Chief Examiner and Principal Advisor to Glendale's Civil Service Commission, providing guidance on merit system principles, personnel administration, and employment matters. Today, I'm a senior consultant with Liebert Cassidy Whitmore, California's leading public sector labor and employment law firm. In that role, I advise cities and other public entities throughout the state on human resources, labor relations, and employment issues. I also hold a master's degree in public administration from Long Beach State, a bachelor's degree in political science from CSUN, and several other professional certifications. Throughout my service on the Civil Service Board, my goal has been to uphold the integrity of Burbank's merit system while ensuring that every matter before the board is considered fairly, objectively, and respectfully. I strive to ask thoughtful questions, hold everyone, including staff and the board, to high standards, and contribute to productive, balanced, and constructive discussions that strengthen the board's work and maintain public confidence in its decisions. My commitment to serve extends well beyond my professional career. My wife and I raised our 2 daughters here in Burbank. I've tried to give back through volunteer service, including serving as a Eucharistic minister and lector at St. Francis Xavier Catholic Church. I also coached Burbank Parks and Rec ponytail softball for more than 15 years while my daughters were growing up, and I continue to volunteer with a regional labor relations organization dedicated to improving communication and collaboration between employers and employees. Public service has been a constant throughout my career and my life. I remain passionate about helping to ensure the City of Burbank continues to recruit, retain, and promote outstanding public employees through a fair, transparent, and effective civil service process. I appreciate your consideration of my reappointment and the opportunity to continue to serve the residents of Burbank. Thank you so much for your time and consideration.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is William Luddy, followed by Samantha Wick. Welcome.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the council. My name is Bill Luddy. I'm currently serving as a member of the Burbank Water and Power Board, and I am here hoping that I will be reappointed because serving on that board has been one of the most educational, informative programs I've been involved in part because that department, from the linemen to the executive offices, has some of the most skilled people, dedicated, committed, and frankly, that's the reason you've got something coming here for the Olympics in 2028 to take because of the skill and the ability that they have there. Now, my own background, I've served as director of the Metropolitan Water District for a dozen years, president of the Los Angeles City Planning Commission, and the time on those boards, I think, has given me a perspective and an ability to view things that adds some benefit to the discussions at the board for water and power. So I very much would hope that you would give me the opportunity to continue working, as well as reappointing the other board members who are here and asking for another time, because there is tremendous skill there, and I think it does the best for the city, particularly given the changes that are coming, the climate issues that are affecting us, the questions of power demands from AI and things like that, as well as water and conservation issues along the Colorado and other places. So again, respectfully, I hope I can have your support. If not, I'll keep doing whatever I can to help the city. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Samantha Wick, followed by Laura Strobel. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. My name is Samantha Wick. I'm not in the hot seat tonight, which is really awesome, but I just wanted to come out and give support for a few people who are applying for our boards and commissions. First and foremost, Carmenita Helliger is on the Board of Library Trustees right now, and as everybody knows, she needs no introduction. She is a fantastic asset to our library board. As a private citizen, I have asked her so many questions about the library, and she is always more than happy to answer them. She is such a reassuring, calming voice in this community that is very, very desperately needed. I am the planning liaison to the Art and Public Places Commission, and I would love to continue serving with Lamont. He always asks very intuitive questions and is just a very, very good commissioner. As Jean Martinelli said, I have only attended 2 meetings with her, but she seems great, and I think she should be reappointed. This is very much off the cuff. I did not know that Alex had applied for the Civil Service Board, but he is very well prepared in everything he does, and he would be a tremendous asset. And finally, I would like to give a shout out to a new appointee, Jody Alexander. Jody is a social worker that I have known for many, many years, and she is a senior. I don't mean to call her out on her age, but she doesn't look it, and she is just a wealth of knowledge to our senior citizens, and I'm also hoping that if she gets appointed, she'll share her skincare routine with all of us. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Next up is Laura Strobel, followed by Brian Smith, and that's my last card. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you so much, Mayor, Vice Mayor Mullins, and City Council. My name is Laura Strobel, and I am asking for consideration for the Heritage Commission. I've always believed that understanding our history gives us a greater appreciation for the communities we're part of. When we know our stories, when we know the stories of the people and the places that came before us, we develop a stronger sense of belonging and a deeper commitment to preserving what makes our city unique. I also believe that growth and innovation are essential. Cities should evolve, welcome new ideas, and prepare for the future. But I don't believe progress requires us to leave our heritage behind. In fact, I believe that our history should be the foundation that guides our future. That belief has stayed with me throughout my life. I've just completed a 23-year career with a company that had a rich history in the entertainment industry. I trained new employees. That was my job. I was the trainer for all new employees that came into the company. I always made it a priority to share the company's history. I wanted them to understand not just what they did, but why it mattered. I saw firsthand how knowing the history of an organization created pride, connection, and a shared sense of purpose. My connection to preserving history is also deeply personal. My grandmother came to Burbank in 1920 from Mexico as a migrant worker. She loved the city, and she stayed. She met my grandfather and built their family. My mother was born and raised in Burbank. I was born and raised in Burbank. My children were born and raised in Burbank, and now my grandchildren are here. And they're being raised in the city that has raised so many different generations of our family. As I've explored my family's history and our story, I've come to appreciate even more how individual lives become part of a city's larger history. Preserving those stories help us to understand not only where we've come from, but who we are. If appointed, I would bring a deep respect for our city's past, an appreciation for our city's future, and a commitment to ensuring that as our city continues to grow, we never lose the stories, the places, and the traditions that define who we are. Thank you so much for your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. And our last speaker is Brian Smith. Welcome.
Good evening. Honorable council members and Madam Mayor, my name is Brian Smith. I am a current member of the BWP board, but I'm not representing the views or the opinions of the board or the utility. I'm here as an engaged Burbanker to endorse 3 applicants for renomination to the Water and Power Board. Tim Cherry, current board chair, Bill Luddy, current member and past board chair, and Chris Malott, a prior member and past board chair. They have all submitted applications to continue serving on the board. In addition to their distinguished service to the city, all 3 have extensive professional experience with SoCal Edison, LA Department of Water and Power, and Metropolitan Water District, or some combination thereof. Their actions and conduct on the board have revealed them to be thoughtful stewards for our utility focused on ratepayer advocacy, critical infrastructure maintenance and improvement, responsible resource management, fiscal health, and long-range strategic thinking. I strongly urge you to reappoint these incredible public servants, and thank you for your consideration.
Thank you for your comment. All right, we have now completed public comment for this report to council. All right, before we start the voting, does council have any questions or comments? Who was first? Councilmember Perez.
Yeah, I just have a question. I know we had an applicant who's a current board member, Miss Diana Incarnation, who came to ask if it is possible to switch her, she made an error, and if it's possible to apply to the 4-year term. Is that possible?
It's at council's pleasure as far as I'm concerned.
Can I ask the process when they apply? They can pick 1 or 2 different boards, but when choosing a board, do they select which? Like, I don't know the process currently. If there's a vacancy, do they pick that one or they pick both? How does that work?
So in the case of Diana Encarnacion, she submitted her application after the June 1st deadline. So
For the 4-year term?
For the 4 years. So as she said, she made a mistake. She missed the deadline. She wanted to apply for it, but then she put an application in on June 17th for the unexpired term.
Can I ask a follow-up? There's also an unexpired term on the Burbank Water and Power Board, and not everybody there, hold on.
There were 6 applicants for the 4-year term, and 5 of those 6 also applied for the unexpired term.
So they had to fill out a new application for the unexpired term?
Correct.
Okay.
The city clerk's office reaches out to them to email them to ask them if they would like to apply for the unexpired term as well.
So here's my issue, and this may just be me. The Water and Power Board, if you applied, it's about timing. If you had applied for the 4-year term on the Water and Power Board and then the vacancy came up later, reaching out and having people apply after the fact, you're still technically in both deadlines. Whereas with the issue with Diane, she applied for one because the other one had expired. Now, granted, it's a very short window of time. I'm happy to, if the rest of my colleagues would consider it, to add her name to the other list. It's just, we got to watch these things as they happen.
Madam Mayor, I was actually surprised when I received the list from the city clerk and the application, knowing that I am the liaison for the senior citizen board. And I know I have spoken to Diana on many occasions about her reapplying, and she wants to continue her work because I know she works closely with staff on different projects. I was surprised to see her actually on the 2-year term, not in the 4-year term. And I know I discussed this with staff yesterday, thinking, what happened? This doesn't make sense. And I appreciate you coming tonight and clarifying this for us. And I know it was an innocent mistake on your part because the deadline, and you saw the opening, and I'm assuming you thought it was a continuation of what you were applying for 4 years. So I am personally okay, given that she is currently serving on that board and she's very involved with the project, and her name is still going to be on there to choose anyway, but whether you serve 4 years or you serve 2 years. So that's just my input on it.
I concur. It's a simple mistake, and I don't have a problem moving it to the 4-year term.
Okay. Madam City Clerk, are there any other incumbents who had the same situation?
Just one question for clarification. Would you like Ms. Encarnacion to stay in both the full 4-year term voting and the unexpired term? Or would you like me to remove her from the
I think she should be removed from the 2-year term and be put in the 4-year term. So this way there's no confusion, because then we focus on the 2-year term applicants. And having said this, though, this is not an excuse for anyone to let the time expire and that it could happen that we make an exception. This is very rare occasions, and given that she is serving currently, I think it was an innocent mistake, because I interviewed her a while back when she contacted me and she said, I'm serving, I'm applying. So I think we really need to pay attention to the deadline. And given that this time we had both Water and Power and the Senior Citizen Board have vacancies in between the time that we had regular vacancies, it really created a little bit of confusion for some members who applied.
And I think she was very clear coming here, and her intention was for the 4-year term. And so I think, her being honest, coming here, sharing that, makes it so that we should just consider her in that slot. And I also have had conversations with her where she has been very clear in that she thought she was applying for this one.
Okay. Do we need
The attorney, do we need any motions, or do we just move?
No,
them
you
in?
can just specify when you appoint which terms you're appointing members for. All members serve at the discretion of the council, and most of these procedures that are followed for these appointments are policy at the department level. They're not in the code. The code does not put restrictions on much of this process. So you're free to appoint the applicants to the length of terms you choose.
And if I may, I would like to point out that of the full Senior Citizen Board term applicants, two incumbents, hold on, one incumbent applied, let me make sure I understand. One incumbent, okay, so that would be 2 incumbents. So there'd be 2 folks who are not incumbents who applied for both, and 2 who did not. So that may affect the 2 that did not apply for both. So we may want to move them over too, just to make it so that everybody's getting a fair. So for example, she's an incumbent being moved to the 4-year term, so that may affect the people who did not apply to both. So I'm just saying that might have an impact, may or may not, but just for fairness, to move them over to the unexpired term so that they have consideration too.
Wait, come again?
Yeah. So basically, if there's 2 incumbents on here that, can shift around the votes so somebody might drop off the list who did not apply for both, who then doesn't get that consideration because they now, it's up to you guys, but it could shift around the votes. And so somebody who didn't apply for both could lose out because that person was moved over. Just putting it there.
I see what you're saying, and we can do that. I would recommend doing that after we take the first vote for the full term,
Okay.
because Diane specifically mentioned she only wanted the full term and not the other one, whereas some of the other ones may switch.
Got it.
I don't want to move anybody around who maybe they don't want us to. do
Fair
that.
point. Okay. Just want to be considerate of everybody involved. Okay. So the request is to move Diana to the full 4-year term selection. Okay.
And I've done that.
All right. Any other questions or comments for City Clerk before we start? All right, let's start.
We're going to take this a little bit slow since this time there's so much crossover. We have people who've applied for more than one, and we have multiple people who applied for both, the unexpired and expired. Okay, we will start with the Board of Building and Fire Code Appeals. This is 3 vacancies for a full 4-year term. I will read the names, and let's see a show of hands, and we'll record your votes. William Ballas. Victor Terracina. Christopher Castro. Kenneth San Miguel. So William Ballas, Victor Teresina, and Christopher Castro are appointed. Moving on to Burbank Water and Power Board, this is 3 vacancies for a full 4-year term. Thomas Uper, William Luddy, Robert Nielsen, Christina Kopelman, Christopher Malote, Lindsay Francois, and Timothy Cherry. Timothy Cherry, William Luddy, and Christina Kopelman are appointed. Did I do that right?
Christopher.
Sorry. Malote got 1. I'm sorry, I didn't see the show of hands for, can we redo Christopher Malote? Oh, I only saw 1 hand.
Yeah,
I beg your pardon. William Luddy, Christopher Malote, and Timothy Cherry are appointed.
Okay, see, now I have a question. Christina Kopelman did not apply for the unexpired term. Is she here present by chance?
Yeah, she is. She spoke. Or she was. She did speak, yeah.
Okay, but she didn't mention anything about being applied for the second. Okay, that's fine.
There was no issue with her application. Okay. Moving on to the Burbank Water and Power Board. For the unexpired term, we have 1 vacancy. Thomas Uper, Robert Nielsen, Victor Teresina.
No, he was already.
Oh, sorry, he's already been appointed, right? This is where it gets tricky. Christopher, oh, he's already been appointed, and Lindsay Francois. 2. Robert Nielsen is appointed to the unexpired term. Community Development Block Grant Committee, this is 2 vacancies for a full 4-year term. Hasmik Versenian, Robin Savoyan, and Hasmik Versenian are appointed. Apologies on the name mispronunciation. Moving on to Board of Library Trustees. This is for 4 vacancies for a full 4-year term. Melanie Renfro, Robin Savoyan.
It's been appointed.
Oh, sorry.
appointed.
Yeah,
It's
this
okay.
is where it gets tricky. Celia Carey Needham. John Medici, did he already get picked? John Medici. Douglas Chadwick. Elizabeth Keener. Brian Snodgrass. Jason Napolitano. Emily Weisberg. Carmenita Heligar. Jordan DeVeccia. Derek Heeran. And Arno Dionysian. Melanie Renfro, Brian Snodgrass, Emily Weisberg, and Carmenita Heligar are appointed. Moving on to the Senior Citizen Board, this is for 3 vacancies for a full 4-year term. Diana Encarnacion.
I'm reading and looking.
John Medici. Jody Alexander. Oh, 3. Sorry, was it 3? Sorry, can we go back to sorry, we changed something here. Let's go back to Jody Alexander. I think someone put their hand up later. Yeah, let's go from the start. Shelby Grimm, Diana Encarnacion, 5 votes. Shelby Grimm. John Medici. 3 changed. Jody Alexander.
You voted.
Jason Napolitano. And Michael Cacciano. See? Shelby Grimm, John Medici, and Jody Alexander. Sorry, Diana Encarnacion, Shelby Grimm, and John Medici. Oh, we have a tie. Sorry. We have a tie for John and Jody. We have a tie. We have a tie for one area. Okay.
Oh.
So do you want to start over? The mayor voted twice. You can have a tie.
Madam City Clerk, is it possible you can leave the names on the list as they are and add Diana at the end? So we can go through all of them first and then Diana at the end.
Shelby Grimm. John Medici. Jody Alexander. Jason Napolitano. Michael Caggiano. And Diana Encarnacion.
You voted.
You can only vote for 3. Now I have 5, 3, 3, 4. Now I still have a tie. I should not have a tie.
This is just as hard for us as it is for all of you.
Well, that's
apparently.
Diana's a winner.
Roll tape. Let's
Shelby's
roll
a
the tape.
winner. Should I suggest that? Yeah. It's not me. Sorry.
Let's do it.
Somebody's voting too many times. Okay. Do you want to do them all over or should we?
All over.
Okay.
We're gonna.
Diana, this is all you. No.
Shelby Grimm. 4. John Medici. 3. Jody Alexander. 3. Jason Napolitano. 0. And Michael Caggiano. 0. So
And Diana.
Diana Encarnacion is 5. So Diana gets through. Okay. Shelby Grimm gets through with 4 votes.
Jody.
And John and Jody. Somebody put their hand. You got John and Jody. Let me just for the 3 that's so confusing.
John and Jody.
Well, Shelby got 4. Shelby got 4. Diana got 5. Shelby got 4. And I've got 2 3s still.
Can I make it easy on everybody? I'll switch to Jody.
I've only got 3 vacancies.
I'll break the tie.
Did they do it wrong again? Who's voting twice?
So is it Shelby, Jody, and then Diana then?
Yes.
Okay, can you repeat that on the mic? Yeah. Right. No, just for the record, could you just state what you just said that wasn't on the mic?
Hold on.
You're going to change your vote.
Yes, but then the city attorney asked if we could call it again.
Just do a runoff. Just call those 2.
That's what I said. Can we just call the 2? Diana Encarnacion has made it through. Shelby Grimm has made it through. So I'm going to remove them, and we're just going to read the remaining 4 names. John Medici.
No, just the 2.
Oh, just the 2. Okay. John Medici. John Medici. Okay, 1 vote. And Jody Alexander. Okay. Diana Encarnacion, Shelby Grimm, and Jody Alexander are appointed. Thank you.
That was painful.
We're a fifth of the way through. I'm just kidding.
It's not televised.
Is anybody passing out in the
You can just
audience?
slice that from the YouTube video and.
Are we ready to
Now,
move on?
now I don't blame Diane for getting this wrong. So
It's not, nobody got anything wrong. Okay. Senior Citizen Board. Now, a lot of these people have been appointed, so bear with me, all right?
Just cross them
At this
off.
point, I'm very confused. James Sartoris. John Medici. Jason Napolitano. Michael Caggiano. Gloria Salas. Gloria Salas is appointed to the unexpired term on the Senior Citizen Board. Moving on to Heritage Commission. We have 3 vacancies for a full 4-year term. Louise Gill, Lynn Kronzek, Laura Strobel, Patricia Tomaszewski, Richard Schmidt, Tony Anselmo, Jeffrey Barnett, Corey Mensing, Joseph Morales, and Zach Martin. We have a tie between Laura Strobel and... no, Mensing got 5. Oh, but Strobel, because we have 3. Laura Strobel, Corey Mensing, and Zach Martin are appointed. Congratulations. Moving on to Infrastructure Oversight Board. This is for 1 vacancy for an unexpired term ending in 2029. Alexander Kalegian, James Correa, Kenneth San Miguel, Lindsay Francois, and Arno Dionysian. James Correa is appointed. Art in Public Places Committee. This is for 3 vacancies for a full 4-year term. Philippe Gompel, Dean Karazinski, Jean Marinelli, Lermont Kachikian, Karen Bradfield, Jose Pimienta, Monica Karam, Jeffrey Barnett, Ann Mitchell, Jordan DeVeccia, and Mei Chin. Okay. Jean Marinelli, Lermont Kachikian, and Monica Karam are appointed. Civil Service Board, this is for 3 vacancies for a full 4-year term. Matthew Doyle, Linda Barnes, Alexander Kalegian, Laura Strobel's already been appointed, and Eric McBride. Okay, so Matthew Doyle, Linda Barnes, and Alexander Kalegian have been appointed. Landlord Tenant Commission. This is for 3 vacancies for a full 4-year term. Annie Nahabedian, Louise Gill, Cameron Rodriguez. Well, and Annie Nahabedian, Louise Gill, and Cameron Rodriguez were appointed.
And that's it? We're done?
It's so easy.
Goodness.
We're done.
Thank you, everyone. If I had my choice, I would vote for everybody. I tried to vote for everybody, but I wouldn't when we were allowed. Thank you all for applying, and please, please continue to be engaged in our community. We so appreciate you being willing to serve. For those who did get selected, congratulations. For those who didn't, see you around Burbank and continue to be engaged. And the room clears out.
Madam Mayor, I'm going to take this moment to go pump.
Okay.
It's time.
Okie dokie. I would say have fun, but you know. All right, next up. The second report to council tonight is adoption of a resolution calling an election on a charter amendment to permit city's electoral system to be changed by ordinance. Adoption of a resolution calling election on an ordinance for district-based elections for Burbank City Council members using map 130, and adoption of a resolution requesting consolidation of the election on the charter amendment and the election on the ordinance for district-based elections using map 130 with the statewide general election to be held on November 3rd, 2026. I welcome Ms. Jill Vanderboort, Chief Assistant City Attorney, to please present the report. Welcome.
How do I, oh, it's on, okay. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. Jill Vanderboort, Chief Assistant City Attorney. And I'm here tonight hoping Ms. Librato can bring up my PowerPoint to ask the council to approve 2 local elections measures to put on the November ballot. This would go along with the TOT measure that council has already authorized to be placed on the November ballot. I'm going to start briefly by telling you how, or reminding you how we got here. In August of 2022, I can't believe it's been almost 4 years, we got a demand under the California Voting Rights Act. The council at the time acted relatively quickly to initiate a resolution of intent to move to by-district elections for its council members. And we initiated a robust process of both outreach and map development and discussion with the community. We had many, many public meetings, community meetings, and public hearings. There were many, many maps submitted through this process, and throughout that about 6 or 7 month timeline, we came with council winnowed down to a single map. Unfortunately, before we could move forward in further discussions in analyzing our local elections and the map any further, the CVRA lawsuit that we had notice of in August of 2022 was filed in October of 2023, which paused our process. Cut to March of this year, we have a settlement agreement in that litigation. I'll get to the salient terms of that settlement agreement in a minute. We initiated the first step of this process that we're going to discuss here tonight with a sequencing of potential future district elections in MAP 130. We did that with the council in a public hearing on June 30th. And I will describe the details of what came of that hearing in a minute. So relevant to the settlement agreement and what we're doing here tonight, or asking the council to do here tonight, the agreement said that the city would put 2 ballot measures relative to its local elections on the November ballot. The first is a charter amendment that is designed to facilitate the election changes that would then be implemented by ordinance if the voters approve the second measure. The charter currently prescribes that local council elections are at large, and so there are 2 charter sections that we would be amending or asking the voters if they would like to amend by the charter amendment. The second one, and both of these measures have to pass for the second one to be put into action, is an ordinance adopting draft map 130 for elections by district of council members in 2028 and 2030. The settlement agreement only requires that if those 2 measures pass, the city council run district elections in 2028 and 2030. The charter amendment, because it builds in flexibility to future councils to change the council election process by ordinance would allow the council after 2030 to reconsider their system for local elections. So again, both of these measures would have to pass for the city to go to by-district elections in 2028 and 2030. The specifics of the charter amendment are prescribed in the first resolution I have in front of the council tonight at attachment 1. Like I said, there are two provisions of the current charter, 300 and 305, that provide for the at-large election of city council members. All 5 of your seats are elected by the entire community. You alternate, 2 seats are open in the gubernatorial year and 3 seats are open in the presidential year. So these sections can only be changed by the voters. Excuse me. So that's what Resolution 1 is designed to do. And again, this was part of the settlement agreement of the CVRA lawsuit that we have agreed to these terms to let the voters decide if this is something they want to move forward with. So once the charter is amended, if it is amended, the voters also will get to consider a by-district ordinance. That's in the second resolution I have in the council materials tonight at attachment 2. It calls for an election on an ordinance for the adoption of MAP 130 from our districting process I described in 2023. And essentially, the agreement we prescribed in the settlement allows the voters to decide if they want future council members to be elected by districts. And again, in 2028 and 2030. This would be in MAP 130. I mentioned sequencing earlier. The council on June 30th engaged in a robust discussion about how we sequence elections, which essentially means when a given districts are up for election, either in the gubernatorial or the presidential cycle. The council decided that districts 2 and 4 would be first up or open for election should this ordinance pass. The even districts in 2028, which are currently occupied by Councilmember Anthony and Councilmember Rosati, whose terms expire in 2028. And then the odd number districts would be up in the presidential year, so 1, 3, and 5. And this is all prescribed in the ordinance that will be presented to the voters in November for either approval or rejection. The third resolution is administrative. It seeks to, like we did with the TOT, it seeks to consolidate our elections, our local measures with the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors in the general election in November. And it discusses relevant cost recoupment, and it delineates the roles between the city clerk and the county. And then lastly, so there's 3 resolutions for you. Lastly, there is staff's recommendation that as in past practice, the council appoint an ad hoc subcommittee of the mayor and vice mayor to draft arguments in favor of the charter amendment, because as I said, it prescribes future flexibility into the charter for our local elections to be designated by ordinance either of the council or by voter initiative, and an argument against the by-district measure. The election code prescribes that council can do that either with appointed members or as a body, and it's given priority in the elections code if they do that. So in conclusion, I'm asking for council to approve 3 resolutions tonight: the charter amendment, the by-district ordinance, to place both of those measures on the ballot, and then the third is to consolidate the measures with the general statewide and county process, and then subsequently to that approval, to appoint an ad hoc subcommittee to work on arguments in favor of the charter and against the by-district. And I recognize this is a confusing topic. It's a very technical topic. I think it was sort of funny in my head that you were voting and doing all those things right before I went on. I have worked with the Public Information's Office and our consultant. We will put out explanatory materials to the best of our ability, explaining to the voters what's at stake, what these 2 measures would mean for future local elections. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for the presentation. We'll check to see if there's any public comment, and then we'll move to questions. Madam City Clerk, do we have any public comment?
We do not.
Okay, then we will move on to questions and discussion. Council members. Yes, Councilmember Anthony.
To be clear, the lawsuit that we agreed to simply says that we have to put these on the ballot, not that they have to pass.
Correct.
Okay.
And that this particular challenger can no longer challenge us in this way.
Vice Mayor, you have a question?
So what happens if one passes and the other one doesn't?
So if the charter amendment passes and the by-district measure fails, we will be left with those amendments I described to the charter, but also the status quo. So though you can then designate by ordinance that your elections will continue to be at large. If the charter amendment fails and the by-district measure passes, the by-district measure has no import because it requires the charter amendment to take effect.
Thank you. And again, want to remind the public that this is not council's choice, basically, that we are looking and seeking to turn our city into district election. It's because we've been sued. We don't have any other option except to put it on the ballot. So hoping there will be enough education in the community to what that means on both, questions on the ballot, because it's important that the public understand this is not something the council chooses to do.
Yes, this agreement does not reflect any admission that there was any concern about representation in the council's election system, either past, present, or future. It is simply to resolve this lawsuit in an efficient way and allow the voters to decide. It's a very expensive area of litigation.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes, Councilmember Anthony.
I'd actually like to follow up on my question. The lawsuit says we have to put something on the ballot for districts, but the charter amendment, the settlement agreement that we agreed to says we have to put something on the ballot for districts. But to facilitate that, we came up with a charter amendment to give us the ability to basically execute a district. So from my understanding, this is just me, the charter amendment seems to be simply us clearing up our charter language for this or any future election, and then the district ordinance seems to be the crux of the settlement agreement. Is that kind of the difference between the two?
So we always needed a charter amendment in order to implement a by-district ordinance. So the charter amendment is contemplated in the actual settlement agreement. However, there could have been a much narrower charter amendment proposed, which is to simply strike at large and replace it with by-district. But that would not have allowed council, should that measure pass, future flexibility in determining its elections.
Okay. Okay, so we get more freedom and more decisions and more options basically down the line with the way the charter amendment is written.
Correct.
Okay.
As proposed.
And to follow up with that, I did have to step out for a minute to use the restroom, so you may have covered this in your presentation. So if this were to pass, this charter amendment in the future, something other than districts could potentially be changed. The system could be changed to something else, an at-large, for example, ranked choice or cumulative or something like that.
That is correct. The charter amendment allows that flexibility. In fact, there is pending state law, SB 1164, I think, 1361 and 1164. It's very hard to keep straight. That amends the CVRA in ways that we can't fully foresee at the time currently. So the charter amendment accounts for that. Whether it's the County of LA allows for ranked choice voting in its next generation machinery or whatever, the charter amendment would allow for it.
Okay. And after this vote, if we vote yes, which we where we see, we're going to have a total of 3 ballot measures then from the city this year on the ballot. Is that correct?
3 local ballot measures, correct.
Right.
Yes, and we're going to launch assuming this gets approved tonight, we will launch, I believe tomorrow, I'm looking at Jonathan with a website, informational website on the measures.
Great. And do we have any sense of when we'll know, like, we'll know the numbers of the ballot measures or the letters? And do we have any sense of when, like, the community will start to see the language of the ballot measures and that kind of thing in their, like, mailbox?
The city clerk is indicating at some point in August. So I think we've requested the letter designations. There's a process, you request a couple or what you don't want. So we'll know that. That'll help with the outreach, obviously.
Right, okay. So folks will start seeing the information maybe more beyond our outreach, probably late August, something like that?
With letter designations, correct.
Got it. Okay, great.
August 12th is the selection.
Okay, great. August 12th-ish.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions, comments? All right, would anyone like to make a motion, a very long motion? Do we have to read this whole thing to make a motion? Can
Sorry.
we waive over page
August
12?
14th, I'm sorry.
Oh, 14th?
The 14th of August is when they will draw the letter and then let us know.
Got it, okay.
I'll do it. I got it.
Okay, you're going to read the whole
Yep.
thing? Oh, my goodness gracious, okay.
All right, I move that we adopt a resolution of the City Council of Burbank calling for the placement of a charter amendment measure on the November 3rd, 2026 general municipal election ballot for the submission to qualified voters, proposed charter amendments that would remove the requirement for at-large elections of city council members and permit the city's electoral system to be specified by ordinance, directing the city attorney to prepare an impartial analysis and setting rules and deadlines for arguments and rebuttals for and against the measure. Also, move to adopt a resolution of the City Council of Burbank calling for the placement of a measure on the November 3rd, 2026 general municipal election ballot for the submission to qualified voters, a proposed ordinance that would change the city's electoral system from at-large to by-district elections with respect to electing city council members, establishing district boundaries by adopting Map 130, and scheduling elections within the districts, directing the city attorney to prepare an impartial analysis, and setting rules and deadlines for arguments and rebuttals for and against the measure. Also move to adopt a resolution of the Council of the City of Burbank requesting the Board of Supervisors of the County of Los Angeles order the consolidation of a general municipal election to be held Tuesday, November 3rd, 2026, with the statewide general election to be held in the County of Los Angeles the same day, including charter amendment and ordinance for by-district election measures. To authorize the Board of Supervisors of the County of Los Angeles to canvass the returns of said general municipal election, and to request that the registrar recorder, county clerk of said county, be permitted to render full services to the City of Burbank relating to the conduct of said municipal election pursuant to California Elections Code Sections 10403 and 10418. Also, move to authorize the City Council to create a subcommittee consisting of the mayor and the vice mayor to prepare an argument in favor of, against, prepare an
I left
argument
that
in
broad.
favor or against each measure, and if necessary, submit a rebuttal. I think I got it right.
Second.
All right.
Yeah, if I would prefer that you specify arguments in favor of which and,
Gotcha.
and
Okay.
against
So
which.
to redo the fourth one, move that we authorize the City Council to create a subcommittee consisting of the mayor and vice mayor to prepare an argument in favor of the charter amendment and against the district ordinance, and if necessary, submit a rebuttal for each.
Do you accept the?
Second.
Okay. We have a first and a second. Let's take the vote, please.
Councilmember Anthony?
Yes.
Councilmember Perez?
Yes.
Councilmember Rosati?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mullins?
Yes.
And Mayor Takahashi?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Our third and final report to council tonight is the appointment of a city council member to the Los Angeles Metropolitan Transportation Authority of San Fernando Valley Service Council for a 3-year term. Mr. City Manager, please present the report.
Absolutely. I think my report will be less than the recommendation here, so shorter. Okay, so for our last report tonight, staff is recommending the council nominate a representative to the San Fernando Valley Service Council for a 3-year term. So the meetings of the Service Council are to seek and listen to public comments on Metro bus services, specifically bus operations, and provide feedback to the Metro Board in an advisory capacity. The Service Council meets on the first Wednesday of the month at 6:30 in Van Nuys. One of the perks, your perk is that you get a $100 stipend per meeting.
At night.
Service Council was formed in 2003 and is comprised of members from LA County 3rd District, 5th District, 4 appointees from the Mayor of City of Los Angeles, as well as 2 representatives from the East Valley cities. That's us. That's Burbank, Glendale, and San Fernando. At least that's what they tell us we are. So both of these seats have recently come up for appointment. Staff from the 3 cities have agreed on fair rotation of those 2 seats, because there's 2 seats, of course, there's 3 cities, so we wanted to do something fair. So there is some rotation schedule that is attached to your staff report. We are lucky enough to have this next, we are one of the ones that have a term happening now. So with that, staff recommends council nominate 1 member to serve on the San Fernando Valley Metro Service Council for the term beginning now in July through ending in June 2029. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager, do we have any public comment on this item, Madam City Clerk?
We do not.
Okay. All right. I'm interested in this spot.
I was going to say I was interested as well.
Okay.
I mean, I think everyone has an outside assignment but me, so I'd be happy to serve if.
So this one is recommending for improving the bus experience. And so for me, I'm interested in it because I ride the bus and I use Metro. And so I'm interested in it to help participate in that. But you were interested too?
No.
Oh.
I was like,
You sure?
I'm good.
You don't?
I'll take my state appointment and regional appointments, and I'll leave this to somebody else.
It's been nice. I think really anyone here on this council would qualify to serve and represent Burbank. And Councilmember Rizzotti makes a good point. I know I have outside agencies, you have outside, every one of us serve on outside agencies. The other that I didn't really think about, except when you mentioned it now, but the one thing that I thought about, given that it's a 3-year term, we have an election coming up in November, and, it's really up and grab to see what happens with the upcoming election. So I think maybe because Councilmember Rizzotti still has two more years on council, knowing that his seat is still in for 2 years, I think it would make sense if he does serve.
Can I ask what happens if we appoint somebody and then they aren't in the city council anymore? Do we get to appoint somebody else, or goes to another city?
No. So what could happen? So what we would do is they can't serve out their time if they, even though they're not on the council.
They can serve out their time.
They can. That did happen to Councilmember Talamantes when he was appointed for a much shorter period.
Yeah.
But it's really up to the city council. So the city council. So what we would do is during our normal liaisons and appointments, at that time, if the council felt like, hey, we really need a council person who is a representative of the city, they could choose to appoint someone else that's a council person to serve out the term, the remaining part of that term.
Okay. I'll weigh in on one thing. I have, over the last few years, watched the mayor engage in a lot of transportation projects, not just here, but regionally. I would like to give her an opportunity to try this out, see if she likes it, see what happens in November. But for now, I would like to see if it's not a huge thing. You're taking comment, you're listening to the issues, the problems, where stops should be, how frequent they should be. I've seen her engage in this topic very well. Not to say that, Councilmember, I know I've seen you in the Transportation Commissions as well. It's just in a regional capacity, I've seen the mayor participate in outside of Burbank discussions that I think would behoove her to tackle this seat in a way I think would be more productive. That's all.
And as I said, I have no doubt the mayor is very well qualified. My God, she has like a long sheet of all the committees she represents us on. I mean, there is a long list of, and I know this is her passion, and she does enjoy it. And it really has nothing, as I said, qualification. I think we're all very seasoned, and any one of us can sit on any of these, except you. I guess you're not. You don't want it because you're like, no, you're giving me that face. But I mean, with all fairness, what you said now, he does not serve on any outside committees. We all have had that opportunity, and I just think it'd probably be fairness and also giving an opportunity for someone. And the good thing about it is he's still here for 2 more years, so we don't have any changes. Of course, hopefully, you're here sitting again after the election, but just in case, so we don't have too many changes. I mean, it's simple. This is not a huge seat that really requires a lot of critical decisions, but it's something to represent Burbank.
So I guess for me, as somebody who's like passionate about the bus and Metro and it being really high quality, for you, Councilmember Rosati, if you were to sit on this seat, what is your perspective on that? Like, how would you use this seat to forward that?
I think it's important just to listen to the arguments that are being made and bring them back to our city and make sure that we're applying and listening to people that use transit on a daily basis or some maybe partial basis. But I think all of us have started somewhere on outside committees, and I need to start, getting outside of Burbank and listening to other agencies and being part of that. Last thing I want to do is go to Van Nuys on a Wednesday at 6 o'clock. But I do think it's important, and as far as transit goes, could be very helpful depending on what happens with our own situation in Burbank.
Yeah, because I think this is an advisory board to Metro, right? So it's to help them have a better transit experience and system.
Yes,
Is that the idea?
you're taking in and listening to public comment related to the bus operations and any complaints, any comments that they have.
Yeah.
I mean, I certainly think it would be a learning experience for you too.
I can do it.
I know you can do it.
I really can.
I can do it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Mayor, you have way too much.
Oh no!
I've seen your schedule.
No,
you have way
I don't
too
have
much.
too much. I can always fit in more transport stuff.
You can come with.
I was just going to say, actually, is there like an opportunity to have an alternate, or that kind of thing?
There's no alternate, but we do have back-to-back terms. So, I mean, it's their 3 years. We have 2 consecutive 3-year terms.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you really want to do this.
I do want to do
think,
this.
and I do. There's a part of me that wants, more people to know about transit experiences. So, yeah.
I'll give you my 2 cents. 1, I do not want this. Y'all are crazy. 2,
Wait a second.
Is it going to change? We're both going to change our minds.
I don't want to weigh in too much because I feel like when I was a mayor, I got a lot of mayor's prerogative. I don't know, it's because if I was a mayor, because I was pregnant, but y'all let me do what I wanted and take first pick. So that is one thing. And then I know transit really well. But if you're willing to let somebody else take a whack at it, you got to just learn your bus stops because they're going to come at you with I took the 94 to the 360,
Yeah, you could take the bus over there.
I was going to say, I'm not opposed to it.
Okay. You should.
And I've been on a bus before. I've been on a train before.
Yes, of course you have. Have you been on Metro buses?
I leave it to you, as much as I would like to see you both rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, if you really want this one, and I may show up, and yeah. To be honest, I didn't know about this committee. I mean, I had to learn about it before, so I was excited to see it, that it's existing. So it's good to have a Burbank representative on there.
I agree.
And, the more we have transportation awareness spread around all 5 of us, I get the better. So.
You brought a good question about alternate, and I know we don't have an official alternate, but if he cannot make the meeting for any reason, can somebody else go like we do? I know we do it as an alternate. This is either you attend or you don't attend.
Yeah, I think because it's a Metro Service
Oh, okay.
Council, we don't have as much say as.
Can we ask? I mean, we asked for the housing trust, though, something
Yeah,
that
that doesn't mean
wasn't
you
done.
can't show up and, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
Make sure you report back on what Councilmember Rosati is doing.
And remember, there's a whole $100 stipend here, so
Shoot, I
there's a
forgot
financial
about that.
impact. So yes.
Oh, man.
So they don't. It's a little bit more.
He's going to have to buy us all dinner. I
Yeah,
guess.
looks like we know who's buying council lunch.
Yeah. All right. Well, it looks like we have a winner here.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah, 6:30 on first Wednesday of the month.
All right.
Yeah, all right.
Can we get a motion second and a vote, please?
I'll move to appoint Councilmember Rosati to the Metro Service Council.
I'll second it. Okay. Yeah.
Aye.
Councilmember Anthony?
Yes.
Councilmember Perez?
Yes.
Councilmember Rosati?
Yeah.
Vice Mayor Mullins?
Yes.
And Mayor Takahashi?
Yes.
Thank you.
I am jealous, though. So I will sit in my envy. Not that far. All right. Look at that. We are coming to the end of our meeting. Yes. Now we will hear council comments, including reporting on council committee assignments, attendance at conferences, regional meetings, and community events. Who would like to go first? Councilmember Anthony.
Yes, I attended the grand opening of the Ten of Nails yesterday with the Chamber of Commerce. Lovely little business right on Magnolia, and the granddaughter of Don Bella de Serrano put the shop up, and it used to be a nail salon before, but now it's under new ownership. Lovely place.
All right. Who would like to go next? Councilmember Perez? Okay.
Yeah, so the first thing is I had several meetings with board applicants throughout all of last week. And then on Wednesday, July 1st, I met with the Latino Film Institute representatives. They wanted to share a lot of what they do, and they would like to be connected to the school district because they have the wonderful program although it's the Latino Film Institute, it's open to any student when they partner with districts. And I thought it would be a great partnership given the fact that hello, we're Burbank, the media capital. And so I hope they have very fruitful conversations with the district. On Wednesday, July 8th, I was on the Burbank Glendale Pasadena Regional Housing Trust Board. We had our meeting. We talked a lot about our budget. We talked about how Measure A funds are coming and going, and we talked about a very cool new program that I believe Dima mentioned when he came forward. We really hashed out the details of the home ownership assistance program and what that's going to look like for the 3 cities and gave feedback. So I'm really excited for that to come back and you all to hear from city staff what that looks like and how we can help first-time home buyers. And then on Monday, July 13th, I got on a plane and flew to DC for the APPA fly-in, legislative fly-in. So with our lovely folks at BWP, we had a lot of very fruitful meetings. We got to meet with senior staff at the Department of Energy. We got to meet with Office of Senator Padilla and Senator, Senator Schiff. The one that lives here. Sorry, not that Adam Schiff is watching this. Anyways, we got to meet with them. We gave Congresswoman Friedman a break because she's done some wonderful earmarks for our city, including the earmark for the bridge. So we're very grateful for that, and we were able to ask both Padilla and Schiff to support that congressional earmark. Got very positive feedback on that, very good results, and we're hoping that that'll move down the pipeline, and we will make some good money in progress on our bridge project. And that was basically the rest of my week. I also talked to a lot of folks from across the country at APPA, and that's why I really had to say the piece about energy, because the minute we brought up that we were chosen as the hub for media at the Olympics, folks were like, oh, wow. And when we talked about our reliability, it felt like we got the attention of folks in the Department of Energy, folks in all these senior offices. So that's a really big deal for us, and it's really helping us in all parts of the city. It's putting us on the map, so very proud of us.
Great. Who would like to go next? Councilmember Rosati.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Wednesday, July 1st, I went to the Economic Development Subcommittee meeting with Vice Mayor Mullins. On Monday, the 6th, I went to the ribbon cutting for a great Italian restaurant on the corner of Magnolia and Glen Oaks. Food was very good. Chamber did a good job on that one. On Wednesday, the 8th, I was at a memorial for a longtime member of the public. And then later that morning, I met with a member of the public about a commission. And then on the 9th, I went to the Park and Rec Board Commission meeting. The 11th, I went to the pop-up Rancho Specific Plan event. Good participation. A lot of people from the community were there. And then later, I met with a member of the public for a commission meeting. The 14th, I went on a meet and greet with the new general manager for the DeBell Golf Course. Golf course is looking good. A lot of plans to make it better and make the playability better, which will also help us increase our prices. But it's really, I was there about 8 months ago and then I went back again, and it's really looking good. On Wednesday, the 15th, I went to the Magnolia Park Mixer. There's a lot of people, very well attended. There was about 80 people there. They are talking about the parade. They're talking about a holiday in the park. It's a good group it's a strong business community, so I'm glad I was able to make it to that. And then the next day at 10 a.m., I met with a member of the public to talk about a commission appointment. And later on that evening, I was at the police commission meeting. And on the 16th, I had 4 meetings that day with members of the public for commission appointments. And then later that evening, I participated in a 5K run at the Burbank Association of Realtors charity event. I finished the race. That's all I'll say. I finished the race. It was hot too. On Friday the 17th, met with 3 members of the public for commission appointments. And then Saturday the 18th, I went to the second Rancho Specific pop-up plan in a different location, different segment of the Rancho, and different participants. So that was very well worth it. And then again, Saturday, I went to the FIFA Fan Zone. I already said everything I could say about that. It was a fabulous event. And then on Sunday the 19th, I went back to the Fan Zone again to check out a couple of more things. And then today, with the mayor, we met the Sister City program of the students from Japan. They were very excited to see us. There was a young man who jumped off the bus wearing a I Love Burbank shirt. So I thought that was really, it was fun to see that. So very enjoyable. So thank you.
You buried the lead. What's the name of the Italian restaurant?
Manja. Yeah, it was really good.
Oh.
Yeah, we should put that on our rotation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's called Manja. It's right. You know where Roselli's used to be?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same place, same location.
Okay.
Right across. It's right 303 Glen Oaks, right across the street.
I was gonna say, you can't tell us like really good Italian restaurant
Really
and
good.
not say
Pizza
the name.
was good. Pasta was good. To go, they do a lot of to-go orders.
Do it.
So
All right.
enjoy.
Thank you. All right, Vice
Manja,
Mayor,
manja.
are you ready?
Yes, I am. July 1st, as Councilmember Rosati said, we met with the Economic Development Subcommittee. with the staff. And then on the 2nd, I attended the SCAC Transportation Committee. The same day, on the 2nd, the mayor and I had the TOT ad hoc committee, which worked on the argument for the TOT. And that same afternoon, I met with one of the applicants that came in here tonight regarding boards and commissions. On the Tuesday, the 14th, I met with the AFRET Consulting just to give update on the project. And then the same afternoon, I met with another applicant. And then right after that, I met with Mayor Takahashi and members of Laterra Development Group to talk about their projects and the challenges for development in the city. It was actually a really informative meeting. On July 15, I had 4 board members meetings and phone calls and Zoom to talk to them about positions, and it continued on the 16th as well. And then today I met with members of the public to talk about a concern that they have with parkway vegetation. And that was it.
All right. It's been a few weeks since our last meeting, so I had a lot of calls and meetings with applicants and community members. Always appreciate those. Thank y'all. On the 2nd, I attended remotely the SCAG Energy and Environment Committee meeting. And then later that morning had the TOT committee with Vice Mayor. And then July 3rd, I attended the 1-year anniversary of First Choice Adult Day Healthcare. That was amazing. Speaking of older adults, and a room full of enthusiastic older adults. It was great. July 4th, on July 4th of July, I attended the Clark and Pass neighborhood July 4th bike parade. And it was about 50 community members or so, and about a quarter of them, maybe a little more, were kids on bikes and some adults on bikes. And my husband and I rode over there. So adorable. Loved it. And they also were doing a Home Again LA bake sale fundraiser too. The kids were. Yeah. And then on July 8th through 10th, I was in Kentucky at the National League of Cities conference. I'm on a committee there, and we were also talking about some of the federal level advocacy that National League of Cities does, mostly around funding, a lot of funding conversations. And then while I was there remotely, I attended the Metro Selection Committee meeting for the spot that Ara vacated. And then on the 13th, back at home here, I attended the San Fernando Valley COG board meeting. And then let's see, what else I got? On the 15th, I attended the Burbank Chamber of Commerce mixer at Hotel Amarano. That was a lot of people there. It's I've been there a few times at that hotel. It's a great venue. And then that same night, the Magnolia Park mixer. They had them on the same night, so I did back-to-backs, visit there. And then that's also, I gave out a lot of stickers there, and I ran out of stickers. That's why I didn't hand out stickers tonight, because I used them all up. But I have more coming. 16th, on July 16th, for the first time since I was a kid, I took a ride on a horse up the hill onto the top. I took a ride on a horse. I did a horse ride up the hill.
Griffith Park?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I haven't done that since I was a kid. No, Jenny from the, I know, right? That's a good question. That's a really good question. A little of both, a little of both. It was a meeting on horseback, and it was with Jenny from the LA Equestrian Center. And she brought me up there, and it was a great meeting, a great ride. I had a blast, a beautiful view. My horse's name was Joker, and didn't want to listen to me at all. But he followed her horse, so it was all right. And then the next day, I could barely move. I hadn't ridden a horse in a long time. And I was bruised, like, all over. But I was absolutely a joy, so super fun. And let's see. And then later that morning, before I felt sore, I had the Burbank Chamber of Commerce monthly board meeting. I popped by, but I was a little bit late because I was coming back from that ride. And then on the 17th, I also attended with Councilmember Rosati the Rancho pop-up event at Johnny Carson Park. And then the 18th and 19th also was at the Fan Zone both days. And then today, also the OTA kids. And since my family's Japanese, I spoke a little bit in Japanese with them, and they were so cute because bowing is how they shake hands in Japan, and so we bowed a lot. And then when I handed them their bags, each of them got their bags. They didn't know like shaking hands, bowing, whatever. So we bowed and then shook hands, and most of them didn't really know how to shake hands because they don't really do it in Japan. And so it was just cute to see them try it. And there was one student who was like, I know how to do this. And he came up and he shook my hand really well. And it was really great. So we bowed, shook hands. I gave him a gift and they all smiled really big. It was really fun. Yeah, such a joy. And then all the host families, we had a great time and they put leis on them. And it was really nice. Our sister city exchange programs really have, I mean, they've been around for a while, but the past like 5-6 years has really gotten robust. And our exchange program with Ota and Incheon are just amazing.
Were you able to impress them with your Japanese?
Choto.
Okay.
Choto. A little bit. Yeah. I'm sure they're like, oh, ouch, that pronunciation's terrible. But I can say some things on my own without reading. I mean, I did read a couple things, but, and then I talked to one of the students on the side and I used a little bit of rusty Japanese and he figured out what I was trying to say. So it was pretty fun. All right. Now it's the time for consideration of previously introduced agenda items. And Mr. City Manager, this agenda item that's on here, are we still want me to read this out? Or are we, okay, all right. So as a reminder, this is council's process for adding additional agenda items. This is one request tonight from the June 30th, 2026 council meeting. Council member who introduced the item will have 2 minutes to provide a brief explanation of the request, along with how the request ties to city council goals. After that, council will vote on whether or not the item should be added as an additional agenda item for consideration at a future meeting. If needed, council may provide clarification or additional information to staff regarding the agenda item request. The first item is Councilmember Anthony's request for a letter of support for Assembly Bill 736 regarding limitation on transfer taxes. Councilmember Anthony, you have 2 minutes.
Thank you. So this bill was shelved in committee. There is some debate whether or not it's going to come back next year. So what I would ask is staff to simply monitor the bill and the bill's author. If it does come back, I'd like to get my 2 minutes back. Otherwise, we're good for now. 2+2.
Okay, great. All right, now is the time for the introduction of additional agenda items. Do members of the council have items to introduce? Councilmember Rosati.
I want to see if we could put on an agenda to discuss and have a presentation about data centers. What qualifies as a data center? Can one go into Burbank by right? What the pros and cons are, and maybe even, I think all of us are kind of concerned about this. Can we just go straight to a second step? I think all of us are kind of in the same feeling about that, or do you want to have a?
No, you would still do the first step, and you would vote, and
Okay.
then, yeah.
Then let's put that on the agenda.
Okay, who would like to go next? Councilmember Anthony?
Yeah, could I just, in the WAMR, can we get a memo? There was an old report for a proposal for a pedestrian bridge from the Rancho into Griffith Park. That's all.
You look like you're.
Oh, no, I mean, I was going to request the same thing. The only thing I was going to add is timeline to that, if we could have it expedited.
You're talking about,
The data centers?
I'm sorry, I need to defer to Mr. Hass.
Yeah, no, our process is next week, we will have it as a consideration of additional agenda item. At that time, if you guys, if the council wants to proceed and streamline or expedite anything, you could let us know and give us
okay.
direction at that time. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Just agreeing with your sense of urgency.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Very much agree.
Yes. Okay. Anything else? Yes, Councilmember Rosati.
And then just a discussion about our vacancy rate is hovering at 35% right now, and as far as commercial, and wanted to see if there's anything we can do to stimulate that, it's the highest in the region right now. So I want to see if there's something we can do as a city and maybe brainstorm a little bit.
So would you like a report on that, or you want an informational report, a memo, and then kind of based off there?
Let's see a report, or a memo, and then from there we can.
Got it.
Have a better discussion.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. All right. Then, guess what? We adjourn. A little early than our schedule. Look at that. We now adjourn the meeting to next Tuesday. We don't get much of a break before our next meeting, July 28th, 2026, for a regular meeting in the council chamber right here at 275 East Olive Avenue, second floor. Thank you and good night. See you next week.